My beloved child, do not ignore my voice. As it lovingly reassures you, let go of your fear. I am with you. You are not alone, and you will prevail. Even though it might seem like everything is stacked against you right now, your victory is near. Do not close this video. Do not walk away from this message. This is not a coincidence. If you are hearing my words right now, it is because your appointed time has come. I am ready to reveal something profoundly supernatural to you. Deep down, your soul knows it. Your spirit senses the shift. You are on the verge of experiencing a powerful, extraordinary miracle. With simple and genuine faith, I can and will perform wonders in your life. This is a message I urge you to listen to truly understand, to embrace, and to accept with an open heart. I know you are standing in a tough spot. I see the weight on your shoulders, but breathe easy, because I am already working in your favor. You might feel confused. The heavy noise in your mind might be trying to drown out the gentle whisper of my Holy Spirit. But do not block your ears. Do not let the frustration from past mistakes overwhelm you, and please do not be harsh on yourself. Forgive yourself, just as I have forgiven you. I know you once felt unshakable, and now you feel your strength fading. I know you are tired. But my power is made perfect in your weakness. Now, I want you to stand up, confront this situation boldly, and pay close attention to what I am about to say. I know exactly how tired you are. I see the heavy sighs you breathe when you think no one is watching. You have carried this burden for so long, walking through the valleys of uncertainty, trying to maintain your faith when the path ahead seemed entirely hidden in fog. You have been strong for everyone else. You have been the pillar for your family, the listening ear for your friends, the one who holds it all together when everything else seems to be falling apart. But my beloved child, I see the toll it has taken on your spirit. I see the moments when you close your eyes and silently ask me how much longer this season will last. I feel the trembling in your hands and the ache in your heart. I want you to know, right now, in this very moment, that your exhaustion is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to how hard you have loved, how deeply you have cared, and how relentlessly you have stood your ground in a world that can be so unforgiving. You do not need to hide your weariness from me. You do not need to pretend that you have it all figured out. Come to me, just as you are. Let your shoulders drop. Let the heavy armor of self-reliance fall to the ground. You have carried the weight of the world on your shoulders for far too long, and it was never a weight you were meant to bear alone. I am here to lift it from you. I am here to offer you the profound rest that only my presence can provide. Your strength has faded because you have been drawing from your own well, and human wells eventually run dry. But I am the wellspring of living water. My resources are infinite, my energy is boundless, and my love for you is an ever-flowing stream that will never run out. Rest your weary head against my chest and listen to the steady rhythm of my grace. I am not disappointed in your fatigue. I do not look at your exhaustion and see a lack of faith. I look at you with the overwhelming tenderness of a father who sees his child returning home after a long and arduous journey. I see the miles you have walked. I see the stones you have stumbled over. I see the hills you have climbed with aching legs. And I am telling you today, the hardest part of this climb is behind you. You can stop striving now. You can stop trying to force the pieces of your life to fit perfectly together. I am the master builder. I am the author and the finisher of your faith. Allow me to take the heavy tools from your hands and do the heavy lifting for you. Breathe deeply. Let the breath of my Holy Spirit enter your lungs and quiet the racing thoughts that keep you awake in the middle of the night. I know the nights are often the hardest. When the distractions of the day fade away, the silence can become a canvas for your deepest anxieties. But I am the God of the night, just as much as I am the God of the day. My light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not, and never will, overcome it. When you feel that deep, bone-weary exhaustion creeping in, I want you to immediately turn your thoughts to me. Do not try to fight it with your own logic. Do not try to reason with your fatigue. Simply say my name. Call out to me in the quietness of your heart, and I will be there instantly, bringing a peace that surpasses all human understanding. Let us talk about the shadows. I know there are voices whispering in those shadows, voices of doubt, voices of criticism, voices of those who do not understand the path I have called you to walk. These adversaries operate in the hidden corners, using fear and insecurity as their weapons. They try to sow seeds of discord in your mind, telling you that your efforts are in vain, that your prayers go unheard, that your future is bleak. But hear me clearly today, these voices are cowardly. They hide in the dark because they cannot withstand the blazing truth of my light. The enemy knows your potential. The enemy sees the divine calling upon your life and is terrified of what you will accomplish when you fully step into the authority I have given you. Therefore, these cowardly whispers are deployed to distract you, to drain your remaining energy, and to make you question your worth. I am telling you right now, do not give them your attention. Do not entertain the slander or the quiet gossip that you sometimes sense around you. People may misunderstand you. They may judge the way you navigate your trials. They may even secretly hope to see you stumble so they can feel better about their own insecurities. But their opinions hold no power over your destiny. I am the only judge of your heart. I am the only one who holds the blueprint of your future. When the shadows try to close in, I want you to remember that a shadow only exists because there is a light shining somewhere nearby. I am that light. The presence of the shadow is merely proof that my light is shining upon you. Do not look at the darkness, look at the source of the illumination. I am silencing those cowardly voices right now. I am placing a divine filter over your mind and your spirit, so that the static noise of the world and the malicious whispers of the adversary simply fade into nothingness. You will begin to notice a newfound clarity. Situations that used to trigger anxiety and fear will suddenly lose their grip on you. The words of those who seek to pull you down will fall to the ground, entirely ineffective, like arrows shot against a mountain of solid granite. I am your granite. I am your solid rock. Hide yourself in me, and let the storm of their negativity pass by harmlessly. You see, the enemy's greatest trick is to make you believe that you are entirely unprotected, that you are a solitary target standing in an open field. But the reality is quite the opposite. You are completely surrounded by my angelic hosts. You are hidden in the secret place of the Most High. The cowardly voices in the shadows can only bark. They cannot bite. They can only threaten. They cannot touch you. So, lift up your head. Stop shrinking back in fear. Stop apologizing for the space you take up in this world. I have placed you here for a profound purpose, and no shadowy adversary has the authority to revoke the calling I have placed upon your life. Walk with your head held high, not in arrogance, but in the quiet, unshakable confidence of a child who knows they are fiercely loved and fiercely protected by the Creator of the universe. Let the opinions of others fade away. Let the fears of tomorrow dissolve in the reality of my present love. I am wrapping my arms around you, insulating you from the cold winds of their doubt. Now, as you rest in my arms, as the noise of the shadows is silenced, something remarkable is beginning to happen within you. Do you feel it? The weariness is starting to lift. A small, warm ember in the center of your chest is beginning to glow brighter. This is the stirring of the spiritual warrior within you. I know you may not feel like a warrior right now. You may feel like a bruised reed, a smoldering wick that is just barely hanging on. But my word promises that a bruised reed I will not break, and a smoldering wick I will not snuff out. Instead, I breathe upon that smoldering wick, fanning it back into a brilliant roaring flame. You are rising. Slowly, perhaps, but surely. You are rising from the ashes of your exhaustion. I am taking the very things that were designed to destroy you and using them as the forge to temper your spirit, making you stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you have ever been. A warrior is not someone who never feels tired or afraid. A true spiritual warrior is someone who feels the fear, who feels the bone-deep exhaustion, but chooses to stand back up anyway, relying entirely on my strength. I am outfitting you with new armor today. The armor you wore in the past was too heavy. It was forged from your own efforts and your own understanding. Today, I am giving you armor forged in the fires of my grace. I place the helmet of salvation upon your head, protecting your thoughts from the lies of the enemy. I secure the breastplate of righteousness over your chest, guarding your heart from bitterness and despair. I wrap the belt of truth around your waist, anchoring you in the unshakable reality of my word. I fit your feet with the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace, so that you can walk through the most turbulent storms with a calm and steady stride. And I place the shield of faith in your hand. This is not a small, fragile shield. This is a massive, impenetrable barrier that extinguishes every single flaming arrow the enemy tries to shoot your way. And in your other hand, I place the sword of the Spirit, which is my word. You are not defenseless. You are a mighty force to be reckoned with. When you step into a room, the atmosphere shifts, not because of who you are in your own strength, but because of who I am within you. The adversary trembles at the sight of a believer who knows their true identity. For too long, you have lived below your privileges as my child. You have settled for scraps of peace when I have prepared a banquet of victory for you. It is time to take your seat at the table. It is time to assume the posture of a conqueror. You will no longer be a victim of your circumstances. You will be the victor, the one who overcomes through the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. The trials you have endured were not a punishment, they were a preparation. They were the training ground for the massive blessing and the immense responsibility I am about to entrust to you. So shake off the dust of defeat. Rise up from the floor of despair. Stand tall, square your shoulders, and look the future directly in the eye with absolute boldness. You are not walking into the unknown alone. You are marching forward as a fully equipped, divinely authorized spiritual warrior, leading the charge for your family and your generation. And as you step forward into this new identity, I want you to understand the absolute certainty of my divine shielding. I am the protector of the flock. I am the good shepherd, and I do not lose a single sheep entrusted to my care. My staff comforts you, guiding you gently back to the path when you start to wander, but my rod is a weapon of fierce protection against any predator that dares to approach you. You are shielded by my mighty arm. Think of the greatest fortress you can imagine, walls of thick stone, iron gates, towers that reach into the sky. My protection around you is infinitely stronger than any earthly fortress. I am a wall of fire around you, and I am the glory within you. No weapon formed against you will prosper. This is not merely a poetic sentiment, it is a spiritual law, guaranteed by my covenant with you. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you will condemn. This is your heritage as my servant, Let the profound reality of this promise sink deep into your soul. You are safe. You are secure. The economic fluctuations of this world do not dictate your provision. The political unrest of the nations does not determine your peace. The medical reports do not have the final say over your life. I have the final say. My shield covers your past, your present, and your future. When you feel vulnerable, when the unexpected storms of life suddenly break overhead, you do not need to run around frantically looking for shelter. You are already in the shelter. You are abiding under the shadow of the Almighty. The rain may fall, the floods may rise, the winds may blow and beat against your life, but you will not fall, because you are founded upon the solid rock of my eternal promises. I want you to visualize this shield right now. See it as a brilliant, shimmering canopy of golden light completely encompassing you, your home, your children, and everything you hold dear. This light is impenetrable to darkness. Disease cannot pass through it without my permission. Poverty cannot breach its walls. Tragedy is halted at the very perimeter of this divine shield. I am watching over your comings and your goings from this time forth and forevermore. I command my angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. They lift you up in their hands so that you will not even strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra. You will trample the great lion and the serpent. These are the promises I have spoken over you, and I do not speak empty words. Everything I say comes to pass. My word does not return to me void, but it accomplishes exactly what I desire and achieves the purpose for which I sent it. So, when the fear tries to creep back in, when the old habit of worrying tries to reassert itself, I want you to consciously choose to lean into my shield. Say aloud, "My God is my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust." Speak it until your heart believes it. Speak it until the atmosphere in your home changes. You are not at the mercy of fate or coincidence. You are in the palm of my hand. I have inscribed your name on the palms of my hands. Your walls are continually before me. I see every detail of your life. I have numbered the very hairs on your head. If I care for the sparrows, how much more do I care for you, my precious chosen child? Rest in this absolute security. Let the tension leave your muscles. Let the worry lines fade from your face. You are under the ultimate protection of the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Nothing can snatch you out of my hand. Let us return to the quietness of this moment. I want to speak again to the depth of your soul, to that secret place where your truest thoughts reside. I know that as an older believer, you carry a unique kind of exhaustion. It is not just the physical weariness of years lived, but the spiritual weariness of having seen so much, felt so much, and prayed so hard for so long. You have watched seasons change, you have seen mountains moved, but you have also walked through dry deserts where the heavens seemed like brass. You have carried the burdens of your children, and perhaps your children's children. You have interceded for loved ones who have strayed, shedding tears in the midnight hours that no one else saw. You have poured yourself out like a drink offering, over and over again, serving your family, your community, and your faith. This long obedience in the same direction is beautiful to me. It is a fragrance of sweet incense rising to my throne. But I also know it leaves you feeling depleted. The world tells you that your best days are behind you, that your energy is fading, that your time of influence is past. I am here to tell you that the world's timeline does not apply to my kingdom. In my kingdom, those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Your exhaustion is simply the canvas upon which I am about to paint my greatest masterpiece of grace. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. I am pouring fresh oil upon your head. The anointing you carried in your earlier years was sufficient for those battles, but the anointing I am releasing over you now is a double portion, rich with the wisdom and maturity that can only come from decades of walking with me. Do not look at your fading physical strength and assume your spiritual power is diminishing. On the contrary, as your outer self is wasting away, your inner self is being renewed day by day. You are a spiritual powerhouse, a deep well of wisdom for a thirsty generation. So, let me replenish you. Let me minister to your weary bones. I am sending a refreshing breeze from heaven right now, blowing through the corridors of your mind, sweeping out the cobwebs of past disappointments and the heavy dust of lingering regrets. Breathe it in. This is the breath of life, the same breath that hovered over the waters at creation, the same breath that parted the Red Sea, the same breath that rolled the stone away from the tomb. That resurrection power is not just a historical event, it is a present reality, and it is available to you, right here, right now, to lift you out of your exhaustion. And as you are lifted, I am taking care of those shadows. We must address the shadows again, because I know how persistent they can be. The enemy is relentless, but his tactics are unoriginal. He uses the same whispers, the same accusations, trying to wear down the saints of the Most High. You may hear whispers that say you haven't done enough, that your prayers weren't faithful enough, that your mistakes have disqualified you from the ultimate blessings I promised. You may face the subtle slander of those who judge your steadfastness, who mock your continued reliance on my word when the world around you is constantly shifting its values. These cowardly voices seek to isolate you, to make you feel as though you are the only one left standing for truth, leaving you feeling exposed and vulnerable. But remember the story of my servant Elijah. When he was exhausted, running from the threats of Jezebel, hiding in a cave and asking me to take his life, he believed he was entirely alone. He believed the shadows had won. But I came to him, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, not in the fire, but in a still, small voice. I fed him, I let him rest, and then I told him the truth: he was not alone. There were thousands who had not bowed their knees to false idols. You are not alone either. I have a remnant, and you are a vital part of it. The voices in the shadows are designed to make you feel isolated, because an isolated soldier is an easy target. But I am gathering my flock. I am drawing you close to my side, and I am silencing the accuser of the brethren. Every time a thought of condemnation arises in your mind, I want you to recognize it for what it is, a cowardly whisper from the shadows. Do not debate it. Do not analyze it. Simply hold up the shield of faith and let the truth of my word extinguish it. I have justified you. I have sanctified you. Who can bring any charge against those whom I have chosen? It is I who justifies. Who then is the one who condemns? No one. The cowardly voices have no legal standing in the courtroom of heaven. Their accusations are thrown out. Your record is clean. So do not let the shadows dictate your mood. Do not let the unseen adversaries steal your joy. Your joy is your strength. When you smile in the face of adversity, when you sing praises in the midnight hour, you are launching the most devastating counterattack against the kingdom of darkness. Your worship is a weapon that terrifies the cowardly spirits. So lift your voice, even if it trembles at first. Sing the old hymns that have anchored your soul for decades. Speak the scriptures that have been your lifeline. As you do, the shadows will flee, completely vanquished by the brilliant light of my presence. Now, fully awake and refreshed, step into your role as my spiritual warrior. This is a season of profound mobilization. I am not calling you to physical combat, but to a high-level spiritual engagement where your prayers shape the destiny of your family and your community. The armor is on, the shield is raised, the sword is sharp. You are no longer on the defensive, you are on the offensive. The enemy has held ground in your family line for too long. There have been cycles of worry, patterns of lack, and legacies of emotional pain that have been passed down. But you are the one I have chosen to break those cycles. As my warrior, you stand in the gap. You draw a line in the sand and declare, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." You use the authority I have given you to bind the works of darkness and loose the blessings of heaven. Do you realize the immense power of a praying grandparent, a praying parent, a praying elder in the faith? Your prayers do not expire. They are collected in golden bowls before my throne, and they are being poured out as massive interventions in the lives of those you love. When you pray, angels are dispatched. When you declare my word, demonic forces must retreat. You are a commander in my spiritual army. I want you to walk with the holy dignity that befits this rank. Do not let the mundane routines of daily life dull your spiritual senses, whether you are washing dishes, driving your car, or resting in your favorite chair. Your spirit can be engaged in mighty warfare, pulling down strongholds and setting the captives free. You are a force of nature, a vessel of my supernatural power. The physical limitations of your body are merely temporary conditions. Your spirit is soaring, eternal, and incredibly potent. Embrace this warrior identity. It is not about anger or aggression. It is about absolute, unyielding resolve. It is about a love so fierce that it refuses to let the enemy steal what belongs to God. It is the courage to keep believing for the prodigal child's return. It is the stamina to keep trusting for the financial breakthrough. It is the unwavering faith that declares healing over a sick body, even when the natural eyes see no change. This is what it means to be my warrior. You fight with faith, you fight with love, and you fight from a position of guaranteed victory. Because the battle belongs to the Lord. And as you wage this good warfare, rest in the absolute guarantee of my divine shielding. I want to expand your understanding of this protection. It is not just a shield against physical harm or spiritual attacks, it is a shield over your mind and your emotions. In a world that is spinning with anxiety, fear, and bad news, my shield acts as a divine insulator. I am protecting your peace. I am guarding your heart and your mind in Christ Jesus. When the news cycles broadcast panic, you will remain calm. When others are losing their bearings, you will remain steadfast. This is the promised peace that passes all understanding. It is a peace that does not make logical sense given the circumstances, but it is real, tangible, and completely yours. I am the good shepherd, and the sheep know my voice. The voice of a stranger they will not follow. My shield tunes your spiritual ears to hear only my frequency, filtering out the deceptive voices of the world. Furthermore, my shielding extends to your provision. I have promised to supply all your needs according to my riches and glory. This is a protective shield over your finances, over your home, over your daily bread. You will not lack any good thing. Even in times of famine, my righteous ones will be satisfied. I am orchestrating events behind the scenes, aligning resources, opening doors that no man can shut, and moving the hearts of people to favor you. You do not need to strive or manipulate outcomes. My shield of favor surrounds you like a fortress. People will be drawn to help you, to bless you, to be a part of what I am doing in your life, and they won't even fully understand why. It is because my glory is resting upon you. This divine protection is your inheritance. It is a covenant promise signed in the blood of the Lamb. You can sleep soundly at night, knowing that the Watchman of Israel never slumbers or sleeps. I am constantly vigil, constantly aware, constantly moving on your behalf. My eyes run to and fro throughout the whole earth to show myself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are fully mine. Your heart is mine, my beloved child. Therefore, my strength, my protection, and my impenetrable shield are entirely devoted to your well-being. Rest in this. Breathe it in. Let the reality of my immediate comfort and my absolute protection settle into the very marrow of your bones. Let us explore the depth of this comfort even further. When I say I am your comforter, I am not merely offering a sympathetic pat on the back. The comfort of the Holy Spirit is a dynamic, active, and transformative force. The word comfort originally means with strength. When I comfort you, I am literally imparting my strength into your weakness. I am fortifying your internal structures. Imagine a grand, historic building that has weathered many storms. Over the years, the mortar may have weakened. The foundation may have shifted slightly. When the master architect comes to restore it, he doesn't just paint over the cracks. He injects new, unbreakable resin deep into the foundation. He reinforces the load-bearing walls with indestructible steel. This is what I am doing in your soul. I am injecting the indestructible resin of my love into the cracks of your heart. I am reinforcing your weary mind with the solid steel of my eternal truth. So, when I say, "Do not fear, for I am with you," it is not just a polite reassurance, it is a structural reinforcement of your very being. You can stand tall against the gales of adversity because your structural integrity is no longer dependent on your own physical energy or emotional resilience. It is entirely dependent on me. And I do not fail. I do not crumble. I am the Rock of Ages. Lean your entire weight against me. You will find that I am more than capable of holding you up. I want you to feel the solidness of my presence right now. In a world where everything feels temporary, fleeting, and uncertain, I am the one constant you can build your life upon. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. My love for you has not diminished since the day you first believed. In fact, it has only grown deeper, richer, and more profoundly intertwined with every breath you take. I treasure the years we have walked together. I treasure the history we share. Every prayer you have whispered, every tear you have shed in my presence, every act of quiet obedience. They are all precious to me, permanently recorded in the book of remembrance. Because of this rich history, because you are my seasoned veteran in the faith, the enemy's tactics against you in the shadows are particularly insidious. He knows he cannot easily steal your salvation, so he attempts to steal your peace, your legacy, and your joy. He operates in the shadows of what if and if only. He tries to cast shadows over your past, making you focus on the times you felt you failed as a parent, a spouse, or a friend. He tries to cast shadows over your future, whispering that your health will fail, that your resources will run out, that you will be forgotten. I command these shadows to scatter. The light of my grace completely obliterates the what-ifs and if-onlys. Your past is covered by my blood, and I have worked all things, even your mistakes, together for your ultimate good. And as for your future, it is entirely secure in my hands. The shadows have no prophetic power. They are merely illusions created by the father of lies. The only true prophecy over your life is the one I have spoken, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. When you sense those shadowy whispers creeping into your thoughts, I want you to immediately recognize them as trespassing entities. They do not belong in the mind of a blood-bought child of God. Evict them with the authority of my word. Say it aloud, I have the mind of Christ. I reject the spirit of fear, for God has given me a spirit of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Silence the cowardly voices by replacing their lies with my undeniable truths. You will find that as you actively speak my word, the atmosphere of your home will physically change. The heaviness will lift, the shadows will retreat, and the brilliant, warm light of my Holy Spirit will fill every corner of your life. This active eviction of fear is the very essence of your role as a spiritual warrior. You are not a passive bystander in this journey. You are an active participant, a co-laborer with Christ. You may not be marching across physical battlefields, but the spiritual territory you are defending is of infinitely greater value. You are defending the spiritual heritage of your family. You are holding the line for truth in a culture that is losing its way. Your steadfastness, your refusal to compromise, your quiet, daily devotion, these are acts of profound spiritual heroism. Do not underestimate the power of a life lived in consistent, quiet faithfulness. The world celebrates the loud, the flashy, and the temporary, but heaven celebrates the enduring, the faithful, and the steadfast. You are a pillar in my temple. You are a living stone built into a spiritual house. Your prayers act as an invisible shield around your loved ones. When you intercede for your grandchildren, you are setting up spiritual tripwires that the enemy cannot cross. When you pray for your community, you are shifting the spiritual climate of your city. This is heavy, glorious work, and it requires the armor I have provided. So, wear it proudly. Let the belt of truth be tight around your waist. In an age of deception, your commitment to my truth is a beacon of light. Let the breastplate of righteousness shine. Your right standing with me, purchased by the cross, protects your heart from the arrows of condemnation. Keep your feet fitted with the readiness of the gospel of peace. Even in conflict, you bring the peace of heaven into the room. Hold up the shield of faith. Let it absorb the shocks and the disappointments of this life, knowing that faith is the victory that overcomes the world. And take up the sword of the Spirit. Read my word, memorize it, speak it, and pray it. It is sharper than any two-edged sword, capable of cutting through the thickest darkness and bringing deliverance to the captive. You are a warrior, beloved, a beautiful, seasoned, battle-tested warrior, and I am incredibly proud to call you mine. And as my warrior, you must deeply understand the nature of the divine shielding that surrounds you. I am not just a distant observer hoping you make it through the battle. I am the commander of the Lord's armies, and I am right there with you in the trenches. My shielding is active, dynamic, and perfectly tailored to whatever threat you face. When the enemy tries to attack your health, my shield acts as a divine immune system, releasing healing power into your cells and tissues. When the enemy attacks your finances, my shield acts as a divine fortress, rebuking the devourer and releasing unexpected provision. When the enemy attacks your relationships, my shield acts as a divine peacemaker, softening hardened hearts and bridging impossible divides. You are covered from every side. The psalmist declared, "You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me." Feel that hand right now. It is a hand of ultimate authority and infinite tenderness. It is the hand that spun the galaxies into existence, yet it is gentle enough to wipe away a single tear from your cheek. This hand is upon you, guiding you, protecting you, and upholding you. You do not need to figure out how to defend yourself. The Lord your God will fight for you. You need only to be still. Let that truth wash over your weary soul. You need only to be still. The frantic scrambling, the desperate attempts to fix everything yourself, the sleepless nights of worrying about tomorrow, you can lay all of that down. In returning and rest you shall be saved, in quietness and in trust shall be your strength. Make my presence your permanent address. Dwell in the shelter of the Most High. This is not a temporary hotel, it is your eternal home. The storms will inevitably rage outside, but inside this divine shelter, there is a fire burning on the hearth, a table prepared before you, and a cup that overflows. I am your protector, your provider, your comfort, and your supreme shield. You are safe with me. You are eternally safe with me. Every time you feel the weariness trying to pull you back down, remind yourself of this truth. The exhaustion you feel is real, but my renewing power is infinitely more real. The cowardly voices in the shadows may be loud, but my voice of truth is the only one that carries eternal weight. You may feel physically weak, but spiritually, you are rising as a formidable warrior, clothed in my armor and wielding my authority, and above all, you are shielded, hemmed in, and protected by the Almighty God. Victory is not just a possibility for you, it is a guaranteed reality. It is your inheritance. If you are finding this fascinating, hit subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. But this newfound strength is only the beginning of your restoration. You must first understand how completely I have erased the mistakes that haunt you. I know that even as my strength flows into your weary bones and my armor settles upon your shoulders, there is still a heavy anchor threatening to drag you back beneath the surface. I see the quiet battles you fight when the world goes still. I watch as the ghosts of your yesterday attempt to pull you into the dark waters of regret. You lay awake in the quiet hours of the night, replaying the mistakes you have made, the words you cannot take back, the decisions that altered the course of your life, and the times you feel you fell catastrophically short of my grace. You carry a ledger in your mind, a detailed, meticulous record of every flaw, every failure, and every stumble. You read this ledger to yourself, and with every line you allow the adversary to convince you that you are somehow disqualified from my love. You allow a deep, paralyzing guilt to convince you that the promises I have spoken over your life are meant for someone else, someone more perfect, someone who has not walked the broken roads you have traveled. But my beloved child, it is time to close that ledger forever. It is time to decisively and permanently sever the heavy anchor of your past. I am speaking to you today to declare an absolute, irrevocable, and eternal pardon over your life. This is not a temporary reprieve. This is not a conditional suspension of a sentence. This is the total eradication of your past guilt and fear. I want you to understand the profound magnitude of my forgiveness. When I look at you, I do not see the sum of your mistakes. I do not view you through the distorted lens of your past failures. I view you through the perfect, unblemished sacrifice of the cross. When I said it is finished, I meant that the debt of your past, your present, and your future was paid in full. I took that meticulous ledger of your wrongs, the very record that the enemy uses to torment your mind, and I nailed it to the cross. It was legally and spiritually obliterated. The ink of your transgressions was washed away by the blood of redemption. You must understand that in the highest courtroom of heaven, the gavel has already fallen. The supreme judge of the universe has declared you not guilty, completely justified, and beautifully redeemed. There is no double jeopardy in my kingdom. You cannot be tried again for a crime that has already been fully pardoned. Yet, you continue to put yourself on trial day after day. You continue to sit in the defendant's chair, listening to the accusations of a defeated enemy, and you continue to sentence yourself to emotional prisons of shame. I am telling you today, the door to that prison is wide open. The locks were shattered thousands of years ago. You are choosing to sit in an unlocked cell. I am calling you to stand up, shake off the dust of that dark place, and walk out into the brilliant, blinding light of my absolute grace. My forgiveness is not like human forgiveness. Humans forgive conditionally. Humans remember the offense and hold it in reserve, ready to bring it up when trust is tested. But I am not a human that I should hold a grudge. When I forgive, I completely and miraculously remove the transgression from my sight. My word declares that I have removed your transgressions from you as far as the east is from the west. Think about the geometry of that promise. If you travel north, you will eventually reach the North Pole and begin traveling south. There is a finite measuring point. But if you travel east, you will never, in all of eternity, begin traveling west. The distance is infinite. It is immeasurable. That is the exact distance I have placed between you and your past mistakes. I have taken your sins and cast them into the deepest depths of the sea of forgetfulness. I have erected a sign on the shore of that sea that says, "No fishing allowed." Why then, my precious child, do you constantly put on your diving gear and plunge into those dark waters, desperately trying to retrieve the very things I have intentionally buried? Why do you insist on resurrecting the dead versions of yourself that I have already laid to rest? The adversary knows that if he can keep you anchored to your past, he can completely neutralize your future. He knows that a believer weighed down by guilt is a warrior who will never swing their sword. Guilt is the most effective paralytic in the spiritual realm. It numbs your faith. It blinds your spiritual vision. It convinces you that your voice has no authority in prayer because your hands are not perfectly clean. But I am telling you that no one's hands are clean except through my grace. You are not righteous because of your flawless performance. You are righteous because I have clothed you in my own righteousness. It is a gift, unearned and entirely unmerited, which means it cannot be unearned by your human frailty. You must grasp the finality of this pardon. The emotional loop of guilt that has kept you trapped in a cycle of repenting for the same forgiven sin over and over again must be broken today. I have already forgiven you. The very first time you came to me with a contrite heart, the matter was settled. Every time you have brought it up since then, I have looked at you with deep compassion and asked, "What sin are you talking about?" I remember it no more. I have blotted out your transgressions like a thick cloud, and your sins like the morning mist. Because you have carried this heavy burden of unhealed shame for so long, you have developed a pattern of isolation. Guilt's primary objective is to drive you into hiding. It is the oldest tactic in the history of humanity. In the garden, when the first mistake was made, the immediate human reaction was to sew fig leaves together and hide among the trees to avoid my presence. You have been doing the exact same thing. You have woven together fig leaves of busy routines, surface-level conversations, and defensive attitudes to hide your true vulnerable self. You have pulled back from deep fellowship with others, terrified that if they truly knew your past, they would reject you. More tragically, you have pulled back from me. You have limited your prayer life to formal, distant requests because you feel unworthy of stepping into the Holy of Holies and sitting on your Father's lap. You have built invisible walls around your heart, believing that these walls protect you from judgment, when in reality, they are only keeping out the love, the healing, and the deep connection your soul desperately craves. This isolation is a dark, cold cave, and it is starving your spirit. But today I am breaking the chains of this isolation. I am walking into the dark cave of your shame, and I am holding out my hand to you. You do not need to hide your face from me. I have seen you at your absolute worst, in your most broken and flawed moments, and my reaction was never discussed. My reaction was a love so fierce and protective that it drove me to the cross. You have nothing left to hide because I have already seen it all, and I have covered it all. I am calling you out of the shadows. I am dismantling the walls you have built brick by brick. You are safe with me. You are completely accepted in the Beloved. When you finally release the fear of being exposed, you will discover the breathtaking freedom of being fully known and unconditionally loved. The coping mechanisms you developed in the dark, the old habits of self-sabotage, the addictions to things that only temporarily numb the pain, these are all losing their grip on you right now. You only needed those crutches because your soul was fractured by guilt. But as I pour the golden oil of my absolute pardon into those fractures, you are becoming whole again. You do not need to run to those old comforts anymore. You do not need to return to the vomit of your past out of a misguided sense of familiarity. Those old ways are dead to you, and you are dead to them. You are a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. Stepping away from those old habits requires a conscious, daily rewiring of your mind. Nature abhors a vacuum. If I empty your mind of guilt and fear, you cannot leave it empty, or the shadows will attempt to return. You must aggressively nourish your spirit with my truth. For years, you have been on a steady diet of the enemy's lies. You have consumed his accusations for breakfast, his condemnations for lunch, and his fear for dinner. You have starved your spirit while feeding your insecurities. That diet ends today. I am inviting you to a banquet of my truth. I want you to feast upon the promises in my word. I want you to consume the reality of your new identity. You are not a condemned sinner. You are a totally forgiven, highly favored, fiercely loved child of the living God. You are a joint heir with Christ. You are the apple of my eye. You are a royal priesthood and a holy nation. This is your true identity, and you must begin to eat the bread of this truth every single day. When you wake up in the morning, before the old familiar weight of guilt tries to settle on your chest, I want you to speak my truth out loud. Remind yourself that my mercies are new every single morning. Yesterday's failures are buried in yesterday's tomb. Today is a pristine, untouched canvas, and I have given you the brush of grace to paint something beautiful. Nourish your spirit with the living water of my spirit. Immerse yourself in the scriptures that speak of my loving kindness. Read the Psalms where David, a man deeply familiar with colossal failure, cries out for mercy and receives total restoration. Read the Gospels and watch how I treated the broken, the outcast, and the heavy laden. I did not meet them with a pointed finger of judgment. I met them with open arms of restoration. That same Jesus is looking at you right now. I am the bread of life. If you feed on me, you will never hunger for the validation of the world, and you will never again be starved by the empty calories of your own self-condemnation. Let the profound reality of my grace seep into your neural pathways. Let it rewrite the internal dialogue you have with yourself. Every time you make a mistake now, do not spiral into the old abyss of despair. Simply look up, acknowledge the misstep, receive the immediate cleansing that is always available to you, and keep walking forward. The righteous man falls 7 times, but he rises again. Your perfection is not what I demand. Your persistent, trusting pursuit of my heart is what I desire. As you nourish yourself with this truth, you are actively stepping out of the darkness permanently. This is a crucial distinction. In the past, you may have visited the light. You may have experienced moments of relief during a powerful worship song or a moving sermon, stepping briefly into the sunshine of my grace, only to retreat back into the familiar darkness of your guilt when Monday morning arrived. But this time is different. You are not just visiting the light, you are relocating your permanent residence. You are moving out of the valley of the shadow of death and taking up residence on the high mountain of my unmerited favor. This is a definitive exit. The bridges behind you are burning. There is no backup plan, no secret escape route back to your old life of condemnation. You belong to the light now. You are a child of the day, not of the night. Walking permanently in the light changes everything about your posture. People who live in the dark walk with their heads down, their shoulders hunched, constantly afraid of what might be lurking just beyond their field of vision. But people who live in the light walk with their heads held high. They step confidently, not because they are arrogant, but because they can clearly see the path I have illuminated before them. They know that even if a stone is in the way, my light will reveal it, so they can step over it. I want you to assume this physical and spiritual posture. Lift your chin, pull your shoulders back. Take a deep, unrestricted breath of the pure, crisp air of total forgiveness. You are free. Do you hear me? You are unequivocally, completely, and eternally free. The prison doors have been unhinged. The jailer has been defeated. The record of your debt has been burned to ashes. There is absolutely nothing holding you back from stepping into the magnificent destiny I have ordained for you. I know that your mind is trying to process the enormity of this truth. The human brain struggles to comprehend unconditional love because it contradicts the transaction-based systems of the world. In the world, you get what you pay for. You reap exactly what you sow. If you break a rule, you pay a penalty. But my kingdom operates on the economy of grace. In my kingdom, Jesus paid the ultimate penalty so that you could receive the ultimate reward. You are receiving what you did not earn, and you are escaping what you truly deserved. That is the scandalous, breathtaking, beautiful reality of the gospel. You do not need to understand it perfectly to accept it entirely. You just need to open your hands and let me place this gift into your life. Stop trying to pay me back for my forgiveness. You cannot afford it, and I am not asking for reimbursement. I am simply asking for your heart. I am asking you to let my love heal the deep bleeding wounds that guilt has inflicted upon your soul. I am asking you to let me wipe away the tears of regret that have stained your face for so many years. I am reaching out right now, and with the gentlest touch of my spirit, I am wiping away your past. Do not let the enemy steal this revelation from you. Tomorrow morning, he will undoubtedly try to resurrect an old memory. He will bring to mind a conversation from 10 years ago, a financial mistake from your youth, or a parenting failure that still makes you cringe. He will hold it up in front of you and whisper, "Look at what you did. How can God possibly bless someone who did this?" When that happens, and it will happen, I want you to use the sword of the Spirit. Do not argue with the memory. Acknowledge that it happened, but then boldly declare the overriding truth of my blood. Say to the enemy, "Yes, I did that. I was broken, but I have been washed, I have been sanctified, I have been justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of my God. That old version of me is dead, and the new version of me is completely forgiven." Point the adversary to the empty tomb. Remind him that his authority over your past was crushed under my heel. You are a victor, not a victim of your history. The eradication of your past guilt is so thorough that it actually changes your relationship with time. When you are bound by guilt, you are constantly living in the past, constantly trying to undo what has already been done. This robs you of the present and makes you dread the future. But when you accept my absolute pardon, time is redeemed. The past becomes a testament to my mercy rather than a monument to your failure. You can look back at the broken pieces of your life and see how my hands have masterfully woven them together to create a mosaic of redemption. Your testimony is not a story of your perfection, it is a story of my relentless pursuit and my limitless grace. Your greatest failures, once surrendered to me, become the very platforms from which you can speak the most powerful truths to others who are hurting. You become a wounded healer. You can look at someone else who is drowning in shame and say, "I know how dark it is down there, but let me show you the hand that pulled me out." This is the beautiful, redemptive purpose I have for the very things you are most ashamed of. I waste nothing in the lives of my children. I take the ashes of your regrets and give you a crown of beauty in their place. Therefore, do not mourn over the years that the locust has eaten. I am restoring those years to you. I am bringing a supernatural acceleration to your spiritual growth and your emotional healing. The time you spent trapped in the cave of isolation was not entirely wasted. It was the pressure cooker that produced a deep, unshakable thirst for my presence. Now that you are out of the cave, that thirst will lead you to the deepest wells of my spirit. You will drink deeply, and you will be satisfied. The despair that has hung over your head like a dark cloud is dissipating. The sun of righteousness is rising with healing in its wings. Can you feel the warmth of my pleasure shining upon you? I am not tolerating you, I am celebrating you. All of heaven rejoices over one sinner who repents, and heaven continues to rejoice as you walk step by step into the fullness of your restored identity. The angels are singing a song of deliverance over you right now. You must protect this new atmosphere in your mind. The eradication of fear and guilt is a miracle I perform, but maintaining the peace I give you is a daily partnership. You must stand guard at the door of your mind. Do not allow toxic influences to pollute the clean waters of your renewed spirit. Be mindful of what you listen to, what you watch, and the conversations you engage in. Surround yourself with voices that echo my truth, voices that remind you of your absolute pardon. If certain relationships constantly drag you back into old patterns of guilt or tempt you to return to the isolation you have just escaped, you must have the courage to set healthy boundaries. Your spiritual health is paramount. You are carrying a precious cargo of my glory now, and you cannot afford to let the careless words of others damage the vessel. You are precious to me. You are a masterpiece in progress. The chains are broken. The ledger is destroyed. The sea of forgetfulness has swallowed your transgressions. The darkness has been permanently expelled by my marvelous light. You are clean. You are holy. You are entirely and eternally loved. Let this truth settle into the very core of your being. Let it silence every remaining tremor of fear. You do not need to look over your shoulder anymore. I am your rear guard, and I have covered your tracks. The only direction you need to look is forward, toward the incredibly bright and prosperous future I have meticulously prepared for you. The weight is gone. The anchor is severed. You are free to soar higher than you have ever dreamed. If you are finding freedom in these words, hit subscribe and like so you never miss my voice. Now that your past no longer binds you, prepare your heart, because I am about to open the floodgates of provision over your home with the heavy, suffocating anchor of your past completely severed. Your spirit is now free to breathe the clean, pure air of my grace. But my desire for your restoration does not stop at the boundaries of your internal world. The profound spiritual cleansing you have just received must now begin to physically manifest in the world around you. And that transformation begins at the very threshold of your home. I am intimately aware of the atmosphere within the walls where you live. I know that your home is meant to be your sanctuary, your safe haven from the turbulence of the world, but I also know that it has not always felt that way. There have been seasons where the air in your house felt thick with unspoken anxieties, unresolved tensions, and the lingering echoes of past arguments. The walls of a home can absorb the emotional weight of the people living inside it, and I know that your walls have absorbed many tears, many heavy sighs, and many desperate prayers whispered in the quiet hours of the morning. You have walked from room to room feeling a sense of unease, a subtle heaviness that you could not quite articulate but could deeply feel in your bones. Today, I am declaring a divine shift over your living space. I am walking through the hallways of your home right now, and my presence is a consuming fire that burns away every trace of spiritual debris, every remnant of sadness, and every shadow of discord. I am purifying the atmosphere of your household. The transformation of your home is not merely a symbolic gesture, it is a tangible, atmospheric change that you and everyone who crosses your threshold will immediately sense. I am sweeping out the thick, stagnant air of worry and replacing it with the fresh, invigorating breeze of my Holy Spirit. When you sit in your living room, you will no longer feel the crushing weight of loneliness or the creeping edge of panic. Instead, you will feel a profound, settling peace that wraps around you like a warm blanket on a cold winter night. The kitchen, where you have often stood paralyzed by the sheer volume of your daily responsibilities, will become a place of joyful provision and sweet fellowship. The bedrooms, which have sometimes been battlegrounds of insomnia and restless tossing and turning, will be reclaimed as sanctuaries of deep, restorative rest. I am commanding the angels of peace to take their stations at every door and every window of your house. They are standing guard, completely barring entry to any spirit of confusion, any spirit of strife, and any spirit of heaviness. From this day forward, your home will be a beacon of light in your neighborhood. People who visit you will feel a sudden, inexplicable sense of calm wash over them the moment they step inside. They will notice that the light seems brighter, the air seems lighter, and the environment feels incredibly safe. This is the aroma of my presence. I am establishing your home as a holy altar, a dedicated space where my glory dwells and where the chaotic noise of the outside world is entirely muted. You will laugh again in those hallways. You will sing songs of praise in those rooms without feeling the heavy burden of impending doom. The atmosphere of your home is being completely rewritten, transitioning from a house of quiet desperation into a vibrant, living sanctuary of my profound peace. Because your home is now established as a fortress of divine peace, it can no longer serve as a dwelling place for lack, poverty, or financial despair. The shift in your spiritual and emotional atmosphere is the crucial foundation for the physical provision I am releasing into your hands. I know how heavily the chains of debt and financial struggle have weighed upon you. I have seen you sitting at your table, staring at bills that seemed insurmountable, trying to make the mathematics of your income stretch over the vastness of your needs. I know the knot that forms in your stomach when the phone rings with an unknown number, the quiet fear of checking the mail, and the silent, agonizing calculation of whether you will have enough resources to last through the month. For an older believer, these financial burdens carry a unique and heavy kind of distress. You worry about your future, about your health care, about not wanting to become a burden to your children, and about the legacy you wish to leave behind. You have worked hard. You have been diligent, yet it seems like the economy of this world is constantly shifting beneath your feet, quietly stealing the security you fought so hard to build. But listen to me very carefully. You are not bound by the economy of this world. You are a citizen of my kingdom, and my kingdom operates on an entirely different system of economics. The resources of heaven are not subject to inflation, recession, or the unstable fluctuations of human markets. I am the creator of all things, the owner of the cattle on 1,000 hills, the master of all the silver and the gold hidden deep within the earth. And because you are my beloved child, my immense wealth is fully available to meet your every need. I am stepping into your financial situation right now to initiate a total liberation from the chains of debt. Debt is a cruel taskmaster. It is a heavy iron chain that wraps around your ankles, restricting your movement, dictating your choices, and attempting to steal your focus away from my kingdom. The enemy loves to use financial misery to create a constant state of low-level panic, hoping that if you are entirely consumed with surviving, you will never have the energy to thrive in your spiritual calling. But I am the ultimate chain breaker. I am sending a supernatural intervention into your finances that will defy human logic and completely confound your creditors. I am opening doors of opportunity that you did not even know existed. I am orchestrating circumstances behind the scenes to release unexpected provision into your life. You will see balances reduced, unexpected checks arriving, and resources multiplying in your hands in ways that you can only attribute to my miraculous intervention. I am giving you divine wisdom to manage the resources I send, illuminating strategies for stewardship that will rapidly accelerate your journey to total financial freedom. Do not look at your current bank account and conclude that it is the final word on your future. Your current balance is merely a temporary circumstance. My promise of abundant provision is an eternal truth. I want you to release the guilt you have carried over your financial struggles. Sometimes my children believe that poverty is a sign of holiness, or that struggling financially means they are being humble. But there is no virtue in being so bound by lack that you cannot fulfill the desires I have placed in your heart to bless others. My will for you is total prosperity, prosperity of the soul, prosperity of the mind, and prosperity in your physical circumstances. I want to bless you so abundantly that you become a mighty river of blessing to those around you. When you are no longer chained to the anxiety of how you will pay for your basic needs, your mind is freed to dream the dreams I have placed inside you. You are freed to support the causes you care about, to bless your children and grandchildren without hesitation, and to give generously to the work of my kingdom. I am breaking the spirit of poverty off your family line today. The generational cycles of lack, the history of always having just barely enough to survive, that cycle ends with you. You are stepping into a wide, spacious place of abundance. I am commanding a blessing upon your storehouses and upon all that you set your hand to do. The financial drought is officially over. The heavy clouds of lack are breaking apart, and the torrential rain of my provision is beginning to fall upon the dry ground of your circumstances. Stand ready to receive it. Open your hands, let go of the scarcity mindset that has kept your faith small, and prepare your heart to manage the overflow I am bringing into your life. As the atmosphere of your home is purified and the heavy chains of financial debt are shattered, the newly cleared space in your life is preparing you for another profound dimension of my provision, the arrival of divine connections and appointed helpers. Wealth is not merely measured in currency. True wealth is profoundly relational. I know that in your journey, especially in recent years, you have experienced the painful sting of relational debt. You have invested your heart, your time, and your deep loyalty into people who ultimately drained your energy, betrayed your trust, or simply walked away when the path became difficult. You have carried the emotional misery of feeling misunderstood, unappreciated, and deeply isolated. You have looked around and realized that your circle had grown small, and the silence of your unreciprocated love has sometimes echoed loudly in your heart. The enemy has used these relational disappointments to try to harden your heart, whispering that it is safer to remain completely alone, that no one can be trusted, and that you must carry the weight of your life entirely on your own shoulders. But you were never created to walk this journey in isolation. Just as I am renewing your home and your finances, I am now orchestrating a beautiful and supernatural renewal of your relational world. I am actively pruning the dead branches from the tree of your life. I am gently removing the toxic connections, the one-sided friendships, and the voices that constantly bring you down or cause you to doubt my promises. Do not mourn the departure of those who were never meant to accompany you into this new season of abundance. Their exit is not a rejection, it is a divine protection. By clearing away the relationships that drain your spirit, I am creating a sacred vacancy for the people I have specifically chosen to walk beside you. I am bringing special, divinely appointed individuals into your life. These are people whose spirits will instantly align with yours. They will carry a complementary grace, possessing the exact wisdom, resources, and encouragement that you need for the road ahead. I am sending you Aarons and Hurs, people who will recognize when your arms are growing weary in the battle and will step up to hold them steady. I am sending you mentors who will speak profound, stabilizing truth into your uncertainties, and I am sending you kindred spirits who will simply sit with you in the quiet moments, understanding your heart without requiring you to explain yourself. You must keep your spiritual eyes wide open to recognize these individuals when they arrive, because they will not always come packaged in the way you might expect. They may be younger than you, possessing a fresh fire that reignites your own passion. They may be older, carrying a quiet, seasoned wisdom that provides an anchor for your soul. They may come from entirely different backgrounds, but you will recognize them by the undeniable peace they bring into your atmosphere and the way their words resonate with the truth of my Holy Spirit. When I bring these people into your life, I want you to welcome them with an open and courageous heart. Do not let the scars of past betrayals prevent you from receiving the gift of new, God-ordained relationships. Treat these individuals with immense value, honor, and respect, because they are tangible expressions of my love for you. Be considerate of their journeys, just as they will be considerate of yours. True divine connection is beautifully reciprocal. As they pour into your life, you will find that the wisdom and love you have accumulated over the years will profoundly bless them in return. Together, you will form a cord of 3 strands that cannot be easily broken. You will pray together, you will celebrate victories together, and you will stand as an impenetrable wall against the attacks of the adversary. This relational wealth will bring a deep, abiding joy to your days, completely erasing the painful memories of the isolation and emotional misery you once endured. This beautiful convergence of blessings, the profound peace saturating your home, the miraculous breaking of your financial chains, and the arrival of deeply aligned, divine connections is not just about making your life comfortable. I am not simply rescuing you from distress so that you can sit quietly on the sidelines. I am blessing you with an overflowing abundance so that your life becomes a breathtaking testament of my faithfulness to a watching world. The magnitude of what I am doing in your life is intentionally designed to be visible, undeniable, and completely unexplainable by human effort alone. I want the people around you, your family members who may be struggling with their own faith, your neighbors who are drowning in the anxieties of this age, and even those who secretly doubted you or wished for your downfall, to look at your life and be absolutely astounded. They will see the light radiating from your home. They will witness the sudden, miraculous turnaround in your finances. They will observe the quality of the people surrounding you and the unshakable joy that has replaced your former heaviness. And when they see all of this, they will have no choice but to acknowledge that the God you serve is real, that He is powerful, and that He is relentlessly good. Your overflowing abundance is a powerful tool for evangelism. When your cup is empty, you can only speak of my promises in theory. But when your cup is running over, your very existence becomes a living, breathing demonstration of my gospel. I am filling your cup so completely that the overflow will spill out onto everything and everyone you touch. The financial freedom I am giving you will allow you to be the answer to someone else's desperate prayer. The peace in your home will make it a sanctuary for the broken-hearted people I will send to your door. The divine wisdom you glean from your new relationships will be the counsel you pass on to the younger generation who is desperately searching for truth. You are becoming a conduit of my grace. The blessings are not meant to be hoarded. They are meant to be channeled. This is why I had to first clear out the guilt and the fear, because a fearful heart holds tightly to what little it has, terrified of losing it. But a completely forgiven, fully trusting heart opens its hands wide, knowing that the source of the supply is absolutely infinite. I want you to begin to visualize this overflow right now. Stop looking at the ground, where the problems of yesterday lie scattered. Lift your eyes and look at the vast horizon of the future I am unfolding before you. I am preparing a table before you in the exact presence of those who doubted you. I am anointing your head with the oil of gladness. Your days of mourning are over. Your days of constantly living on the defensive, always trying to block the next blow from the enemy, have come to an end. You are stepping into an offensive position of overwhelming victory. The legacy you leave behind will not be a story of a long, tired struggle against poverty and emotional pain. Your legacy will be a glorious narrative of a God who stepped into the darkest moments, broke the heaviest chains, and completely restored the years that the locusts had eaten. You will plant seeds of faith, wisdom, and actual physical resources in the lives of your children and grandchildren that will continue to bear fruit long after you are gone. Do not shrink back from the magnitude of this blessing. Do not let false humility tell you that you do not deserve this kind of overflowing abundance. Of course, you do not deserve it based on your own flawless merit. No one does. You deserve it because you are covered in the blood of my Son, because you have stood firm in your faith through the darkest nights, and because my heart is bursting with the desire to be good to you. I am a father who delights in giving good gifts to his children. My joy is made complete when I see you thriving, smiling, and walking in the absolute fullness of your calling. So embrace the transformation of your home. Welcome the financial miracles without hesitation. Open your arms to the divine connections I am bringing to your doorstep, and let your life become the magnificent, undeniable testament of faith that it was always destined to be. If this message is speaking directly to your spirit, hit subscribe and like so you don't miss what comes next. I have dispatched these blessings toward you, but to receive them fully, you must master the one virtue that the enemy tries hardest to destroy. I have promised you overflowing abundance, divine connections, and the total transformation of your home. You have heard my words, and I know that in the quiet, sacred spaces of your heart, a beautiful, flickering flame of hope has been reignited. You are standing on the edge of my magnificent promises, looking out at the horizon of your future, eagerly watching for the first signs of the approaching cloud of blessing. But I also know the fragile nature of the human heart, my beloved child. I know that as the days turn into weeks and the weeks into months, and the physical manifestation of these promises takes time to materialize in the natural realm, a subtle weariness can begin to creep back into your mind. You wonder if you perhaps misheard my voice. You wonder if the blessing was somehow derailed by your own missteps, or if I have forgotten the intimate timeline we spoke about in the secret place of your prayers. Today I want to draw you incredibly close, not to reprimand your eagerness, and certainly not to scold your weariness, but to gently explain the profound, unsearchable, and perfect wisdom of my divine timing. I am a father who deeply, fiercely, and perfectly loves you. When a wise and loving earthly father prepares a grand, life-altering inheritance for his child, he does not haphazardly toss it into their hands before they possess the maturity to hold it. If I were to immediately drop the full unmitigated weight of the massive blessings I have prepared for you into your life at this exact fleeting second, the sheer magnitude of it could easily overwhelm your current emotional and spiritual structures. I am not delaying because I am withholding my goodness. I am meticulously orchestrating the perfect environment so that when the blessing arrives, it will elevate your life permanently, rather than crushing you under its sudden, unexpected weight. You must understand that I operate entirely outside the restrictive boundaries of human time. You measure time in passing seconds, minutes, days, and years. You look at calendars and feel the heavy pressure of advancing age. You feel the sharp urgency of missed opportunities and the loud ticking clock of earthly expectations. But I dwell in the vastness of eternity. I see the absolute end from the very beginning, and my perspective is flawless. When you bring a heartfelt request to me, when you cry out for a breakthrough from the depths of your soul, I hear you instantly. The answer is dispatched from my throne room the very moment the prayer leaves your lips. However, the journey of that answer from the eternal spiritual realm into your temporary physical reality is a magnificent masterclass in divine preparation. Think of a master architect tasked with constructing a towering, glorious skyscraper. The visible progress above the ground might seem agonizingly slow to a passerby for many months. To the untrained, impatient eye, it looks as though absolutely nothing of value is happening on the construction site. But the brilliant architect knows that the most critical, life-saving work is happening deep beneath the surface, hidden from public view. Massive trenches are being dug into the earth. Solid steel pillars are being driven deep into the immovable bedrock, and millions of tons of heavy concrete are being poured in the dark, hidden places. Why is this necessary? Because the architect knows the incredible, dizzying height the building will eventually reach, and he knows the fierce, relentless winds it will inevitably have to withstand. If the foundation is rushed to satisfy the impatience of the onlookers, the very structure designed to be a monument of triumph will eventually become a tragic, collapsing hazard. My beloved, your current waiting period is the digging of a massive, impenetrable foundation. The delays you perceive are not my denials, they are the deep, hidden, necessary excavations of your spirit. I am driving the solid steel of my eternal word deep into the bedrock of your soul. I am pouring the curing concrete of unshakable faith into the hidden, vulnerable places of your heart. I am doing this because the blessing I am bringing to you is so immense, so unprecedented in the history of your family line, that it requires a foundation capable of sustaining its glorious weight for the rest of your life and for the generations that will follow you. If I gave this profound blessing to you prematurely, the blessing itself could become a terrible burden, distracting you from my presence and causing your spiritual structures to fracture under the pressure of maintaining it. Because I love you perfectly, I absolutely refuse to compromise the integrity of your foundation. I am meticulously aligning every single detail in the cosmos on your behalf. I am moving the right people into the exact right positions. I am shifting financial resources across the globe to intersect with your path. I am gently softening the hearts of those who hold the keys to the specific doors I am about to open for you. This level of cosmic, divine orchestration requires a precision that human impatience simply cannot comprehend. Rest securely in the knowledge that my timing is never accidental and it is never ever late. I am the God of the sudden miracle, but I am also the God of the perfectly prepared, brilliantly executed process. When the timing is exactly right, when your internal foundation is fully cured and ready to bear the weight of glory, the manifestation of your miracle will happen with breathtaking, undeniable speed. You will look back at this exact period of waiting, and you will not feel a single ounce of regret or frustration. You will be overwhelmed with profound gratitude for a Father who loved you enough to prepare you for the gift, and to prepare the gift exclusively for you. As you navigate this sacred, delicate process of waiting, You must become incredibly vigilant about the voices you allow to enter your inner sanctuary. The adversary, knowing full well that he cannot stop the blessing I have already ordained and dispatched for you, will desperately attempt to ruin your posture of receiving it. His primary tactic during the long wait is to surround you with the toxic noise of doubt, often utilizing the voices of those who dwell closest to your periphery. You will undoubtedly encounter scoffers. You will cross paths with envious critics who look at your steadfast, quiet faith and feel a deep, uncomfortable conviction about their own tragic lack of hope. These are the voices that whisper with a sneer, "Where is your God now?" These are the people who subtly remind you of your past failures, who consistently question the validity of the promises you are bravely standing on, and who offer unsolicited, faithless advice dressed up as realism or mature practicality. They will point their fingers at your current unchanged circumstances and boldly declare that nothing has happened, and nothing ever will. They will try to convince your weary mind that your faith is merely a psychological coping mechanism, a foolish, childish dream that will eventually lead to a devastating, embarrassing disappointment. My child, you must clearly understand the spiritual dynamic at play when you face this kind of opposition. When people consistently operate from a place of spiritual poverty and cynical despair, they are deeply intimidated by the brilliant wealth of your faith. Your unwavering trust in my unseen promises acts as a glaring mirror, reflecting their own insecurities and their own tragic disconnectedness from my grace. Their mockery is not actually a commentary on you. It is a defensive, fearful reaction to the divine light you carry. Therefore, you must make a conscious decision not to absorb their poison. You must not let their cynical remarks penetrate the armor I have lovingly placed around your mind. I am warning you of this specific danger, not to make you angry or vindictive toward them, but to fully equip you with divine discernment. I want you to view these critics through the gentle lens of my compassion. They are held captive to their own fear. They are bound tightly by the strict limitations of their natural senses, entirely unable to perceive the magnificent, unfolding realities of the spiritual realm. Pray for them, but do not take counsel from them. Do not engage in endless, exhausting debates trying to logically prove my faithfulness to someone who has already made the firm decision to close their eyes to the light. Your ultimate vindication will not come through your clever arguments. Your vindication will come through the undeniable, spectacular manifestation of my glory in your actual life. While you endure this wait, I am placing a protective spiritual seal over your ears. You must be deeply intentional and ruthless about guarding your ear gate. Turn down the deafening volume of the world's skepticism. Distance yourself physically and emotionally from conversations that drain your faith or creatively sow seeds of anxiety in your heart. If there are specific individuals who consistently pull you into a dark vortex of negativity and doubt, it is entirely permissible and indeed spiritually necessary to lovingly but firmly draw boundaries. You are carrying a precious, fragile, miraculous seed of a monumental breakthrough in the womb of your spirit. A mother carrying a delicate child is highly protective of her environment. She instinctively avoids toxins, she avoids unnecessary physical stress, and she intentionally nourishes herself with what is healthy and life-giving. In the exact same way, you must fiercely protect the delicate environment of your growing faith. Surround yourself exclusively with the triumphant testimonies of my goodness. Immerse yourself deeply in the ancient scriptures that recount how I faithfully delivered Abraham when his body was past the age of bearing children, how I gloriously vindicated Joseph after years of forgotten suffering in a dark dungeon, and how I perfectly fulfilled my royal promise to David despite the relentless, murderous pursuit of his enemies. Their respective waiting periods were long, brutally complicated, and filled with loud scoffers, but my word always prevailed. My word will always prevail. Let the mockers talk. Let them exhaust themselves building their temporary, fragile castles of cynicism and doubt. Their faithless words will eventually fall to the ground and blow away like dead autumn leaves, while your faith will continue to flourish like a deeply rooted, majestic tree planted firmly by streams of living water. When the heavenly floodgates finally open and my provision overtakes your life in a spectacular display of my love, the silence of your critics will be absolute and profound. They will be forced to stand back in awe and witness the irrefutable, living truth that the Lord your God is remarkably faithful, that He fiercely honors those who honor Him, and that those who patiently wait upon Him will never, ever be put to shame. Until that glorious moment arrives, let your quiet, unshakable confidence be your loudest, most eloquent response. Let your profound peace be the polished shield that effortlessly deflects their fiery arrows of envy. Guarding your ears from the external noise of scoffers is vital to your survival. But what happens within the silent, private chambers of your own heart is even more crucial to your ultimate victory. It is entirely possible to successfully silence the outside critics while still harboring a quiet, corrosive complaining within your own soul. This is precisely why I am drawing you into a much deeper, more mature understanding of joy. I am not asking you to muster up a fake, superficial happiness that blindly ignores the harsh reality of your physical and emotional weariness. Toxic positivity has absolutely no place in the authenticity of my kingdom. I desire truth in your innermost parts. It is perfectly okay to admit to me that the waiting is incredibly hard. It is perfectly okay to come to my throne with hot tears in your eyes and express the deep, throbbing ache of a deferred hope. I am a safe, gentle harbor for your most fragile, broken emotions. However, I want to gently and lovingly steer your heart away from the slippery, dangerous slope of chronic complaining. Complaining is a subtle but highly destructive spiritual force. It acts exactly like a slow-working, unseen acid, silently eating away at the very foundation we are working so hard to build together. When you complain, you are inadvertently agreeing with the enemy's false narrative that I am stubbornly withholding from you, that I am acting unfairly, or that I have cruelly abandoned you in a barren wilderness. Complaining instantly blinds your spiritual eyes to the hundreds of small, beautiful daily miracles I am actively performing to sustain you while you wait for the massive breakthrough. It forcefully directs your gaze downward onto your temporary lack rather than upward onto my limitless, eternal supply. As your loving Father, my primary desire is to protect your heart from the heavy, suffocating toll of bitterness. Bitterness is the tragic, inevitable end result of unchecked, continuous complaining, and bitterness will completely rot the root of your blessing before it ever has a chance to blossom into fruit. Instead of carrying the heavy, exhausting burden of complaint, I am eagerly inviting you into the liberating, life-giving practice of maintaining joy. Joy is profoundly different from earthly happiness. Happiness is entirely dependent on external happenings. It rises and falls unpredictably based on the fickle circumstances of the day. But joy is a deep, unshakable, heavy anchor forged in the holy fires of my spirit. Joy is the quiet, immovable assurance that no matter what your natural eyes see today, your God is absolutely sovereign, completely good, and fiercely committed to your ultimate, resounding victory. How do you practically maintain this joy when the answers seem perpetually delayed? You do it through the intentional, beautiful sacrifice of praise. Praise is not just a joyful reaction to a battle already won. Praise is the actual spiritual weapon that wins the battle. When you choose to lift your hands and worship me in the dark hallway, while the door you are desperately waiting for is still firmly shut and locked, you are executing the highest, most powerful form of spiritual warfare known in the heavenly realms. You are boldly declaring to the principalities and powers of darkness that your deep love for me is not a shallow transactional arrangement. You are proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that you love the blesser infinitely more than you love the blessing. This kind of authentic, sacrificial joy profoundly shifts the very atmosphere around you. It literally changes your physical biology, lowering the toxic stress that threatens your health, and it beautifully changes your spiritual biology, massively expanding your internal capacity to receive my presence. I want you to start thanking me in advance for what you cannot yet see. Wake up every single morning and declare into the atmosphere, "Father, I thank you that the answer is already on the way. I thank you that you are working fiercely behind the scenes. I thank you that your timing is flawless and your love is unfailing." As you saturate your waiting period with this proactive, aggressive gratitude, you will begin to feel a supernatural buoyancy lift your weary spirit. The wait will no longer feel like a grueling, punitive prison sentence. It will begin to feel like the thrilling, expectant, hushed moments just before the heavy velvet curtain rises on a beautiful, life-changing symphony. You will begin to notice the breathtaking sweetness of my presence right there in the waiting room with you. You will come to the profound realization that the ultimate goal is not merely to receive the physical provision, but to fall deeper, more passionately in love with me during the grueling process of trusting me. Keep your heart incredibly tender. Do not let the prolonged delay calcify your emotions or turn your empathy into stone. Laugh often, even if the laughter is an act of pure defiance against the heavy gloom the enemy tries to impose upon your mind. Sing aloud in the hallways of your home. Let your spirit dance in the absolute certainty that I am faithful to complete the good work I have started in you. This maintained, fiercely cultivated joy is the most beautiful, intoxicating fragrance you can ever offer me, and it is the exact, perfectly conditioned atmosphere in which your miracles will suddenly and gloriously materialize out of thin air. This profound transformation of your heart brings us to the deepest, most magnificent reason for the delay, the ultimate, overarching purpose of this waiting season. You are currently inside a sacred, holy crucible. A crucible is a specialized vessel used by a master silversmith to melt down precious metals, subjecting them to intense, blistering heat in order to completely separate the pure, highly valuable silver from the worthless dross and impurities. It is an incredibly intense environment, and from the limited perspective of the silver, it feels like nothing but punishing heat and crushing pressure. But the master silversmith never, ever leaves the crucible. He pulls up a chair and sits directly beside the roaring fire, his experienced eyes locked entirely on the melting metal. He watches carefully, adjusting the temperature of the flames with absolute, masterful precision, ensuring the fire is hot enough to refine and purify, but not a single degree so hot that it destroys the precious metal. And do you know how the silversmith finally knows when the painful process is complete? He knows the silver is perfectly pure when he can lean over the crucible and see his own face reflecting perfectly on the smooth, glassy surface of the metal. My beloved, precious child, I am the master silversmith, and you are my most prized, invaluable treasure. The waiting, the delays, the agonizingly unfulfilled expectations, these are the heat of the divine crucible. I have allowed this intense heat not to punish you for past mistakes, but to lovingly refine you for future glory. I am intentionally burning away the hidden impurities of impatience, of subtle self-reliance, of hidden pride, and of the desperate human desire to control your own destiny. When the massive, unprecedented blessings I have promised finally arrive in your life, they will bring with them an immense, staggering level of responsibility. True abundance requires a character strong enough to steward it wisely without becoming corrupted or arrogant by it. Wide-reaching influence requires a humility deep enough to constantly deflect the glory back to my throne. If I were to elevate you before your character is fully forged and tested, the very elevation you prayed for would ultimately destroy your soul. The loud applause of people, the sudden influx of significant financial resources, the rapid expansion of your territory, these things are wonderful gifts, but they act exactly like giant magnifying glasses. They will instantly magnify whatever is deeply embedded in your underlying character. If there are hidden hairline fractures of insecurity, greed, or selfishness, the massive weight of the blessing will crack you wide open for the world to see. But because I love you with an everlasting, fiercely protective love, I am using this current delay to forge within you a character of indestructible, radiant integrity. I am teaching you the quiet, beautiful strength of endurance. I am developing within your spirit the powerful muscle of long suffering, which is a rare and precious fruit of my Holy Spirit. I deeply desire for you to be a vessel of pure, beaten gold, entirely capable of holding the heaviest, most glorious outpourings of my anointing without leaking, breaking, or compromising your values. This hot crucible is absolutely not a sign of my absence. It is the ultimate, undeniable proof of my intimate, intensely focused attention on your life. I am sitting right beside the fire. I have not taken my eyes off you for a single fleeting second. I am holding you incredibly steady in the midst of the flames. I know the heat is uncomfortable. I know the continuous stretching of your faith feels agonizing at times, making you want to cry out for immediate relief. But I urge you, with all the love in my fatherly heart, do not try to jump out of the crucible prematurely. Do not try to bypass this necessary process by taking matters into your own fragile hands. Historically, Ishmael is always produced when human impatience tries to force the fulfillment of a divine promise. And while I love all of my creation, the Ishmaels of your own making will always bring conflict, striving, and complications, whereas the Isaac of my promise brings the pure, unadulterated laughter of a beautifully fulfilled covenant. Wait for the Isaac. Wait for the pure, perfectly timed, spectacular manifestation of my word. As you yield your will to this refining process, you will begin to notice a profound, lasting shift in your own internal desires. The frantic, breathless desperation to receive the blessing will slowly fade away, replaced by a deep, magnificent, quiet peace. You will realize with absolute clarity that possessing my presence is infinitely more valuable than possessing my presence. And ironically, beautifully, it is exactly at that point of total, joyful surrender, when your character reflects my image perfectly in the crucible, that the floodgates of heaven are finally thrown wide open. You are becoming a living masterpiece of my grace. You are becoming a deeply rooted, unshakable oak of righteousness that will provide shade for generations. So, embrace the crucible. Let patience have its perfect, unhindered work in you, so that you may be mature, complete, and lacking absolutely nothing in the days to come. The wait is almost over, my child. The heat is doing its final, perfecting work, and the reflection I see in you is becoming breathtakingly beautiful. As you wait with this new understanding, I am already pouring out a supernatural healing over the deepest wounds of your soul. You have walked through the intense heat of the refining crucible, and you have borne the waiting period with a quiet, enduring strength that has brought immense joy to my heart. Now, I am calling you away from the heat of the fire and leading you toward the cool, crystal-clear banks of the river of my spirit. The time of intense testing is yielding to a season of profound refreshing. I see the toll that the long journey has taken on your physical frame and your emotional reserves. You have stood resilient against the winds of adversity, but even the strongest oaks need deep, nourishing moisture at their roots to remain vibrant. Today, I am inviting you to step into a continuous, flowing stream of restoration that has been flowing from my throne since the beginning of time. This is not a shallow, temporary brook that dries up when the heat of summer arrives. It is a mighty, eternal torrent of living water, overflowing with grace, vitality, and absolute wholeness. As you stand at the edge of this divine river, I want you to look at the waters before you step in. Notice how clear, how pure, and how inviting they are. In this river, there is no pollution of fear, no sediment of anxiety, and no undercurrent of doubt. It is pure love, pure peace, and pure life. For too long, you have tried to quench your spiritual thirst from the shallow wells of human comfort and temporary distractions. But those cisterns are broken, and they can never satisfy the deep ache of your soul. I am asking you today to step out of the dry, dusty wilderness of your exhaustion and wade into the waters of my presence. Do not merely stand on the bank, testing the water with your toes while keeping your weight firmly anchored in your own self-reliance. I am calling you to a full, unconditional surrender to the flow of my Spirit. When you first step into this river, the water reaches your ankles, gently washing away the accumulated dust of your daily anxieties. You feel an immediate, cooling relief as the dirt of your recent disappointments is carried away by the gentle current. But do not stop at the edge. I am drawing you out into the deeper waters. As you walk further, the water rises to your knees, and you begin to feel the powerful, stabilizing push of the current against your legs. Here, you must begin to release your own balance and trust in my strength to hold you upright. Move deeper still, until the waters surround your waist, embracing your core and lifting the heavy gravitational pull of your earthly burdens. And finally, my beloved child, let go entirely. Allow yourself to be completely submerged in the boundless ocean of my grace. Dive into the river of my Spirit and let the living waters wash over your head, saturating your mind, your emotions, and your very identity. When you immerse yourself fully in my Spirit, a miraculous transformation begins within your mind. The turbulent, chaotic waves of anxiety that have frequently assaulted your thoughts are brought into absolute subjection to my peace. I know that as an older believer, your mind has often been a battlefield where worries about the future, grief over past losses, and anxiety regarding the state of the world collide in a deafening storm. There are nights when your thoughts race uncontrollably, cycling through worst-case scenarios and hypothetical disasters that drain your joy before the morning sun even rises. Right now, as the living waters of my Spirit wash over your mind, I am commanding those stormy thoughts to be still. I am bringing a profound, unshakable emotional stability into your inner world. The sorrow that has lingered in the corners of your heart, the heavy sadness that you have kept carefully hidden behind a brave smile, is being dissolved in the warm, comforting currents of my love. You are no longer at the mercy of your shifting moods or the unstable emotional climate of the people around you. I am anchoring your emotions in the depths of my eternal truth. When sudden challenges arise, you will not experience the immediate familiar spike of panic or the paralyzing grip of despair. Instead, you will feel a deep, subterranean reservoir of calm welling up from within you. This is the peace that surpasses all human understanding, acting as a fortress around your mind and your heart. I am washing away the emotional scars of old betrayals, the lingering resentment from those who failed to value you, and the chronic fatigue that comes from trying to be the strong one for everyone else. In this river, you are allowed to simply be my child. You do not have to perform, you do not have to hold everything together, and you do not have to project an image of invulnerability. Float in the current of my sovereignty and let me restore the childlike joy and wonder that the world has tried so hard to steal from you. This deep flowing river does not merely minister to your emotional and spiritual well-being, it flows directly into the physical reality of your mortal body. I am intimately acquainted with every cell, every tissue, every organ, and every bone in your frame. I formed you meticulously in your mother's womb, and I have sustained your physical life through every decade you have lived on this earth. I know the physical challenges that try to attach themselves to advancing years. I hear the quiet sighs when you wake up to stiff joints, aching muscles, and a body that feels slower to respond than it once did. I see the concern in your eyes when you listen to medical reports, monitor chronic symptoms, or hold prescription bottles in your hands. But I want to remind you today that I am the Lord who heals you. I am the great physician, and my healing power is not limited by human age, medical statistics, or the natural decline of the mortal body. Right now, I am releasing a supernatural stream of physical healing to flow through every part of your being. Imagine the crystal clear waters of my river entering your physical frame, acting as a divine elixir that carries life, vitality, and cellular renewal to every distressed area of your body. I speak divine order to your cardiovascular system. Let your heart beat with a steady, strong, and unhindered rhythm, and let your blood flow freely and cleanly through every vessel, carrying nourishment and oxygen to every limb. I command inflammation to subside from your joints, your muscles, and your nerves. Where there has been chronic pain, stiffness, and restricted mobility, I am pouring in the soothing oil of my grace, restoring flexibility, ease of movement, and physical comfort. I speak strength to your skeletal frame, commanding your bones to remain dense, strong, and resistant to fragility. Let your respiratory system draw in deep, effortless breaths of life, completely free from obstruction or weakness. I am also breathing a supernatural vitality into your immune system, outfitting your body with a powerful defense against every illness, virus, and disease that walks in the darkness. No plague will find a permanent residence in your tent, for the life of my Son is pulsing through your veins. I want you to understand that, while I am performing this miraculous supernatural restoration within you, I am also working in perfect harmony with the medical wisdom I have provided in your life. I have placed skilled, compassionate doctors, nurses, and specialists in your path as instruments of my care. Do not view medical science and divine faith as opposing forces. Rather, see them as cooperative channels of my goodness toward you. Continue to heed the sound, balanced counsel of the physicians who oversee your health, but do so with your faith rooted entirely in me, not merely in their earthly expertise. I will actively guide the minds of your doctors, granting them unusual insight, precision in diagnosis, and wisdom in choosing the exact treatments and medications that will benefit your body without causing unnecessary harm or difficult side effects. I will bless the medicine you take, causing it to work with maximum efficacy while neutralizing any adverse reactions. However, always remember that while a doctor can prescribe, diagnose, and treat, it is my hand alone that commands the cellular restoration and ultimate healing of your frame. I am renewing your youth like the eagles. This does not mean you will turn back the physical clock of time to your 20s, but it means you will possess the stamina, the mental clarity, the physical resilience, and the daily vigor required to fully accomplish every remaining assignment I have prepared for your life. You will not spend your later years sitting on the sidelines of life, sidelined by physical frailty or chronic torment. You will walk with a renewed spring in your step, your eyes bright with hope, your physical voice strong to declare my praises, and your hands steady to bless the generations that follow you. To fully experience this profound physical and emotional restoration, there is a requirement of total release on your part. It is impossible to swim freely in the river of my spirit while you are still clutching heavy boulders of anxiety in your hands. I see the invisible weights you carry strapped to your back, burdens that you have dragged across decades, falsely believing that it is your responsibility to solve every problem, fix every broken situation, and rescue every person you love. You carry the weight of your family's future, the heavy burden of financial security, the lingering guilt over past mistakes you made in your youth, and the exhausting responsibility of trying to control outcomes that belong entirely to me. My beloved, your hands are too small, your shoulders are too narrow, and your human wisdom is too limited to carry this massive load. When you attempt to carry what I never assigned to you, the physical and spiritual strain crushes your vitality, induces illness, and robs you of your peace. Today, right now in this sacred moment of communion, I command you to lay down your heaviest burdens. Unstrap that heavy pack from your shoulders and drop it deep into the flowing waters of my river. Look at your hands. See how tightly your fingers have been clenched around your worries, so much so that your knuckles are white with strain. I am gently placing my hands over yours, loosening your grip and urging you to open your palms completely. Let the rocks fall. Let the concerns for your adult children, the anxieties about your finances, the fears regarding your health, and the distress over the state of the world slip out of your grasp and fall into the swift current of my care. Once you release them into my river, the current will carry them far out of your reach, transporting them directly to the ocean of my infinite sovereignty. You do not need to constantly monitor them, revisit them, or attempt to fish them back out of the water. They are no longer your problems to solve, they are my matters to manage. Think of how much lighter you will feel when you truly relinquish control. Why do you continue to torment yourself with sleepless nights, trying to untangle knots that only my divine fingers can undo? I am the God of the universe. I hold the sun, the moon, and the stars in their orbits by the word of my power. Am I not entirely capable of holding your life, your family, and your future in my hands? Cast all your cares upon me, for I care for you with a depth of affection that defies human comprehension. When you hand your burdens over to me, you are not acting with irresponsibility or spiritual laziness. You are demonstrating the highest form of mature, childlike faith. You are actively saying, Father, I trust your wisdom more than my own. I trust your power more than my strength, and I trust your timing more than my urgency. As you empty your hands of these agonizing burdens, I immediately fill your open palms with the sweet gifts of my kingdom, unshakable peace, profound rest, and a deep, settling assurance that all is well. I want you to make a daily, conscious practice of this surrender. Whenever a familiar worry tries to reattach itself to your mind, whenever a piece of alarming news tempts you to pick up the old boulder of fear, stop instantly. Take a deep, deliberate breath of my Holy Spirit, visualize the river, and explicitly speak the words of release out loud. Lord, I lay this burden down at your feet. It belongs to you, and I refuse to carry it a single step further. In that holy transaction, you will preserve your health, protect your emotional stability, and remain buoyant in the life-giving flow of my grace. While you are bathing in this healing river, experiencing the renewal of your body and the liberation of your mind, I am simultaneously orchestrating a massive defensive perimeter around the people you hold most dear. I know that for an adult believer, your greatest vulnerabilities and your deepest prayers are rarely for yourself alone. They are constantly directed toward your family. Your heart is forever intertwined with the lives of your children, your grandchildren, and your extended loved ones. When they hurt, you bleed. When they face danger, your spirit stands at attention. When they wander from the truth, you shed bitter tears in the secret place of intercession. I want to reassure you today that every prayer you have ever whispered over your family has been heard, recorded, and actively deployed as a spiritual weapon on their behalf. You do not need to live in a state of constant, low-level dread regarding their safety or their salvation. While you rest in my river, I am actively commanding my mighty angelic hosts to take up their positions around your lineage. I am deploying legions of holy angels to surround your household, establishing an impenetrable wall of fire around your family tree. These heavenly sentinels are warriors of supreme strength, completely loyal to my word and fierce in their protection of my covenant children. They are stationed at the doors of your loved ones' homes, standing guard over their sleeping hours and walking beside them in their waking routines. I have given my angels strict charge over your family to keep them in all their ways. When your children and grandchildren travel across highways, navigate busy cities, or sit in classrooms and workplaces, my angelic guardians are running interference ahead of them. They are neutralizing hidden accidents, turning away random acts of violence, and diverting the paths of malicious individuals who would seek to do them harm or lead them astray. There is a supernatural shield of divine protection operating over your bloodline that the enemy simply cannot breach. Furthermore, this angelic deployment is not merely physical, it is intensely spiritual and relational. I am sending my angels to push back the forces of darkness that try to whisper lies into the minds of your children and grandchildren. Where the enemy has attempted to sow confusion, rebellion, anxiety, or addiction into their lives, I am dispatching warrior angels to dismantle those strongholds and sever the invisible chains of cultural deception. My spirit is working relentlessly in their hearts, even when your natural eyes cannot detect a visible change. I am using the unseen armies of heaven to orchestrate divine appointments for them, placing godly mentors, faithful friends, and illuminating circumstances in their path that will draw their hearts relentlessly back to my truth. You must understand that your legacy is secure in my hands. The seed of the righteous shall be delivered, and because you have walked faithfully with me, your blessing extends to 1,000 generations of those who follow you. So, let go of the compulsive need to micromanage the lives of your adult children or constantly worry over the decisions of your grandchildren. You have planted the seeds of truth, you have lived a life of godly example, and you have committed them to my care through decades of faithful intercession. Now, step back and let me be the God of your family. Allow my angelic hosts to do the heavy warfare that you are physically and geographically unable to perform. When you are tempted to call them out of anxiety, or when you feel the urge to intervene in situations where you have not been invited, channel that energy directly into praise. Thank me for the angelic sentinels that are currently surrounding them. Visualize the brilliant, shining armor of my heavenly guardians standing tall over their homes. Rest in the absolute confidence that the same God who is healing your body and restoring your mind is simultaneously keeping a watchful, protective, and jealous eye over every single person you love. Look at how far you have come in this journey today. Step by step, I have led you out of the dark cave of your past guilt, severed the heavy iron chains of financial and emotional debt, and refined your character through the sacred heat of patience. Now, as you stand completely submerged in the crystal clear river of my spirit, your total restoration is becoming a visible reality. Feel the gentle, rhythmic pulse of your renewed heart. Sense the ease and comfort returning to your limbs. Experience the profound, quiet silence in your mind where the deafening noise of anxiety used to rage. You are clean. You are whole. You are strong. And you are intensely loved. The burdens that once bent your back toward the dust are now floating far away on the surface of my boundless grace, never to return to your shoulders. Your sanctuary is peaceful, your household is purified, and your family line is completely encircled by the mighty fiery chariots of my angelic armies. You are standing on high ground, physically refreshed, spiritually revitalized, and emotionally fortified. You have been outfitted with my armor, fed with my truth, and drenched in my living water. You are no longer the weary, exhausted traveler who felt like giving up on the road. You have been transformed into a majestic, resilient eagle, ready to mount up with wings of unshakable faith and soar above the storms of this temporal world. You are fully prepared for the final chapters of your earthly assignment, possessing a double portion of wisdom, an unmeasured supply of health, and a deep, abiding joy that no earthly circumstance can ever extinguish. With your strength renewed and your family guarded, it is time to watch how I deal with those who tried to engineer your downfall. Now that your physical strength has been renewed in the crystal clear waters of my spirit, and your family has been securely surrounded by the fiery chariots of my angelic hosts, you are standing on solid, unshakable ground. You are fortified, you are whole, and you are resting in a peace that the world simply cannot comprehend. But as you stand on this high ground, looking out over the landscape of your life, I know that your eyes inevitably fall upon those who have tried to make your journey difficult. We must now address the reality of the adversaries who have operated in the shadows, those individuals driven by envy, misunderstanding, or a deep spiritual blindness who have actively sought to engineer your downfall. In the past, the mere thought of these people might have brought a sharp spike of anxiety to your chest. You have felt the sting of their whispered slander, you have noticed the subtle ways they tried to exclude you, and you have recognized the hidden traps they set, hoping to see you stumble and lose your footing. For a very long time, you carried the heavy, agonizing burden of wanting to defend yourself, of wanting to shout the truth from the rooftops to clear your good name. But today, I am calling you to lay down your defenses completely, because I am stepping forward as your ultimate defender, your perfect shield, and your majestic vindicator. I want you to deeply understand the spiritual dynamics of slander and envy. When people speak against you, when they twist your words or misrepresent your intentions, their actions are rarely about you at all. Envy is a tragic, suffocating disease of the soul that blinds a person to their own divine potential and forces them to obsess over the light they see shining in someone else. When they look at your life, they see my favor resting upon you. They see the quiet, unshakable joy that you maintain even in the midst of trials, and because they do not understand the source of that joy, it intimidates them. Their attempts to tear you down are merely desperate, misguided efforts to elevate themselves out of their own spiritual poverty. Once you view their actions through this lens of spiritual reality, their arrows lose their sharp, terrifying sting. You begin to see that their gossip is not a powerful weapon, it is simply the noise of a confused and hurting soul. And because you are my beloved, protected child, I have placed an invisible, impenetrable shield of favor entirely around you. This shield is specifically designed to intercept the arrows of slander before they can ever take root in the hearts of those who truly matter. You have spent too many sleepless nights rehearsing conversations in your head, imagining the perfect defense, and wishing you could simply make them understand your heart. I am telling you today, you do not need to hire a public relations team in the natural realm, nor do you need to exhaust your emotional energy trying to manage your reputation. I am the guardian of your reputation. I am the keeper of your legacy. When hidden traps are laid for your feet, my Holy Spirit will provide you with the exact, supernatural discernment needed to quietly and gracefully step entirely around them. You will walk right past their carefully laid snares without even breaking your stride, leaving those who plotted against you utterly confounded by your effortless progress. The lies they have spoken in the dark will be exposed to the brilliant, undeniable light of my truth, not by your loud arguments, but by the quiet, consistent, and beautiful fruit of your daily life. A life lived in authentic grace is the most devastating and unanswerable defense against any false accusation. As you continue to walk in integrity, the very people who listen to the slander will eventually look at your steadfast character and realize that the words spoken against you were entirely false. I will turn the hearts of those who were swayed by deception, and I will align you only with those who have the spiritual eyes to see the genuine purity of your intentions. This divine shielding requires you to practice a profound level of spiritual restraint. When you are attacked, the human instinct is always to strike back, to return fire with fire, and to demand immediate, earthly justice. But I am calling you, my seasoned warrior, to a much higher standard of conflict resolution. I am calling you to the majestic silence of a king or queen who knows that their throne is entirely secure. When you stoop to the level of petty vindictiveness, when you engage in the muddy, exhausting skirmishes of returning insult for insult, you temporarily step out from behind my shield and fight in your own fragile strength. I want you to stay safely behind the shield. Let my silence be your initial response to their provocation. Let your unbothered peace be the mirror that reflects their own turmoil back to them. By refusing to defend yourself, you are actively handing the entire case over to the Supreme Court of Heaven. I am the righteous judge, and my scales are perfectly balanced. When I execute justice, it is not messy, it is not petty, and it is never vindictive. My justice is a flawless, awe-inspiring display of truth that permanently settles the matter and leaves absolutely no room for appeal. As I act as your shield against these hidden traps and whispered lies, I am simultaneously preparing to do something incredibly public and undeniably glorious on your behalf. I am going to elevate you in the exact presence of those who sought to keep you hidden. You know the ancient words of the psalmist deeply. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I want you to vividly visualize this profound spiritual reality. I am not simply removing you from the presence of your adversaries. I am setting a magnificent, overflowing banquet table for you right in the middle of the valley where they thought you would perish. This table is covered with the finest linen of my righteousness. It is loaded with the rich, abundant fruits of my spirit, the heavy, sweet wine of my joy, and the nourishing bread of my eternal promises. I am pulling out the chair of honor and inviting you to sit down and feast, and the people who doubted you, the ones who actively worked against your success, will have absolutely no choice but to stand on the periphery and watch you be blessed. This elevation is not designed to humiliate them out of spite or earthly revenge. I do not operate in the low, toxic frequencies of human vindictiveness. This elevation is designed to be a majestic, undeniable demonstration of my absolute sovereignty and my relentless grace. When they see you sitting at that table, when they see the anointing oil of my favor poured so heavily over your head that it runs down the garments of your life, they will be forced to recognize that they cannot curse what I have explicitly blessed. They will see that their attempts to bury you were entirely futile because they did not realize you were a seed, and the dirt they threw on you only served as the exact soil needed for your miraculous growth. Their opposition became the very scaffolding I used to build the monument of your promotion. This is the breathtaking irony of my divine justice. I take the weapons formed against you and expertly reforge them into the very stepping stones that lead you to your highest destiny. When you take your seat at this prepared table, I want you to dine with absolute dignity. Do not look at the onlookers with a haughty spirit or a mocking smile. You do not need to flaunt your victory, because the victory speaks entirely for itself. Your quiet, humble gratitude as you partake of my blessings is the most powerful testament to my goodness. As you eat from this table, you will find that the bitter taste of past betrayals is completely washed away by the sweet, overpowering flavor of my current grace. The sting of their rejection will vanish, replaced by the profound, settling assurance of my total acceptance. Your cup will literally run over. The blessings I am pouring out upon you will be so vast, so comprehensive, and so continuous that they will spill over the edges of your life and actually begin to bless the very ground you walk upon. And the adversaries standing in the distance will witness this overflow. They will see that your prosperity is not a temporary stroke of luck, but a permanent established covenant with the Creator of the universe. This is true vindication. It is not about making someone else bleed. It is about making you so incredibly whole, so brilliantly radiant, that the darkness of their actions is entirely eclipsed by the light of your restoration. But to sit comfortably at this table, to truly digest the rich feast I have prepared for you, there is one final, critical step you must take in your heart regarding those who have wronged you. It is the most challenging, the most profoundly countercultural, and the most fiercely powerful spiritual weapon I have ever placed in the hands of my children. You must earnestly, genuinely, and consistently pray for them. I am not asking you to pray that they realize how wrong they were, nor am I asking you to pray that my judgment falls heavily upon them. I am asking you to pray for their absolute highest good. I am asking you to bless those who have cursed you, to do good to those who have hated you, and to intercede for those who have spitefully used you. I know that in the natural human mind, this command feels completely unreasonable. It feels like a violation of your own sense of justice. Your flesh wants them to pay for the pain they caused, the tears they made you shed, and the time they stole from your life. But my beloved, you must look beyond the flesh and see the profound spiritual mechanism at work in the act of forgiveness. When you hold on to resentment, even when that resentment feels entirely justified by the facts of the situation, you are drinking a slow-acting, spiritual poison and hoping the other person dies. Bitterness does not harm your adversary. It only corrodes your own internal peace. It keeps you chained to the very person who hurt you, allowing them to continue dictating your emotional state long after the actual event has passed. But when you make the difficult, beautifully agonizing choice to open your mouth and speak a blessing over their lives, you are taking a massive pair of spiritual bolt cutters and snapping that chain permanently. Forgiveness is not about minimizing the offense, it is about maximizing your own freedom. It is the definitive declaration that you will no longer allow their brokenness to govern your joy. Furthermore, when you pray for an adversary, you are stepping into the absolute highest alignment with the heart of my Son. When he hung on the cross, looking down at the very men who had driven the nails into his hands, his response was not a curse of destruction, but a plea of incomprehensible grace. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. When you adopt this posture, you become an untethered, untouchable force of nature in the spiritual realm. The enemy stands absolutely paralyzed and confused when he attacks a believer and receives a prayer of blessing in return. He has no defense against this kind of radical, majestic love. And as you pray for those who operate in envy, your spiritual eyes will be opened to see them not as monsters to be feared, but as captives to be pitied. You will realize that to act with such malice, they must be living in a constant state of internal torment, entirely cut off from the soothing river of my grace that you now swim in daily. Your prayers for them might be the very key that unlocks their own prison cell of bitterness. Whether they ever receive that grace or not is entirely between them and me. Your responsibility is simply to keep your own heart clean, soft, and continually flowing with my unconditional love. By praying for them, you ensure that the table I have prepared for you remains a place of pure joy, entirely untainted by the sour aftertaste of your own lingering resentment. You are elevated not just in your circumstances, but in your character, possessing a heart so vast and so generous that it reflects the very nature of heaven itself. With your heart fully cleansed of any desire for petty revenge, you are now completely ready to receive the final, most glorious phase of this vindication, the absolute, total restoration of everything the adversary attempted to steal from you. We are not just talking about a symbolic victory or a moral high ground. We are talking about the literal, tangible, and comprehensive return of your stolen goods. The enemy is a thief, and his mandate has always been to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Over the years, he has managed to orchestrate the theft of many precious things from your life. He has stolen financial resources through unfair situations, unexpected crises, or the dishonest actions of others. He has stolen time, causing you to spend years wandering in seasons of confusion, grief, or seemingly endless waiting. He has stolen relationships, driving wedges of misunderstanding between you and people you love deeply. He has even attempted to steal your physical health, your peace of mind, and the very joy of your salvation. But in the supreme courtroom of my kingdom, there is a divine law of restitution. When the thief is caught, and my eyes have seen every single thing he has taken from you, he is required by heavenly mandate to restore what he took, and to restore it with a massive, multiplying interest. I am declaring a season of divine compensation over your life. I am going to restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten, the hopper, the destroyer, and the cutter. Think about the profound magnitude of that promise. Time is the one resource that human beings consider completely irretrievable. Once a year is gone, the world says it is gone forever. But I am the creator of time, and I am not bound by the ticking of a clock. I can orchestrate a level of extreme, supernatural acceleration in your life that will accomplish more in the next 3 years than you could have possibly achieved in the last 30 years of human striving. The opportunities you thought you missed because you were dealing with the attacks of the enemy are circling back around to you, upgraded and perfectly customized for the mature wisdom you possess right now. The financial resources that were drained from your accounts through injustice or unexpected hardship are being replenished. I am opening the windows of heaven and pouring out a blessing so vast that your current storehouses will not have the capacity to contain it. This restoration is not just a replacement of what was lost, it is a profound, exponential multiplication. For your shame, you shall have double. Where you experienced public embarrassment, misunderstanding, or the painful sting of being passed over and marginalized, I am giving you a double portion of honor, influence, and profound respect in your community. People who previously dismissed your voice will suddenly seek out your counsel, recognizing the undeniable weight of my wisdom resting upon your shoulders. Where your family experienced division and the painful theft of unity, I am weaving the torn threads of those relationships back together, creating a tapestry of love and mutual understanding that is infinitely stronger and more beautiful than it was before the tear occurred. I am restoring the deep, belly-shaking laughter to your home. I am restoring the unhindered, fearless ability to dream massive dreams for your future. The enemy's plan was to leave you completely depleted, sitting in the ashes of your past, mourning what could have been. But my plan is to raise you from those ashes, place a crown of dazzling beauty upon your head, wrap you in the heavy royal garment of praise, and completely restore your soul. As you look at the sheer scale of this restoration, you will finally understand why the vindication had to happen my way and not yours. If you had taken matters into your own hands, if you had fought for your own reputation and sought your own petty revenge, you might have won a small, temporary skirmish, but you would have missed the grand, sweeping victory of this divine compensation. By staying behind my shield, by holding your peace, by allowing me to prepare the table, and by choosing the incredibly high road of praying for your adversaries, you have positioned yourself perfectly to receive the full, unmitigated avalanche of my restorative grace. You have proven that you can be trusted with the victory, because you know that the victory belongs entirely to the Lord. I want you to take a moment right now to look back over your shoulder one last time. Look at the landscape of your past, marked by the battles, the hidden traps, the whispers, and the tears. See how small those adversaries look from the immense height of the mountain you are standing on now. See how their weapons lie completely broken and useless on the ground. See how the very paths they dug to trap you have been filled in and paved over with the solid gold of my redemptive love. You do not ever need to look back there again. The ledger is settled. The debt has been repaid. The scales of justice have tipped permanently and heavily in your favor. You are fully, completely, and majestically vindicated. You are my beloved, my chosen, my victorious warrior, and you are stepping into a season of unparalleled wholeness. Your enemies have been utterly confounded, not by your wrath, but by the overwhelming, undeniable, and spectacular display of my goodness in your life. This ultimate vindication is the final step before you step fully into the grand eternal promise I made to you from the beginning. Hours ago, when you first heard the sound of my voice reaching out to you in the midst of your exhaustion, I made you a very specific and profound promise. I told you not to walk away, not to close your heart, because you were on the absolute verge of experiencing a powerful and extraordinary miracle. I asked you to listen, to trust me, and to allow the gentle voice of my Holy Spirit to guide you through the turbulent waters of your weariness. You have stayed with me through this long, beautiful journey. You have allowed me to walk with you through the dark valleys of your past guilt, into the fierce fires of the refining crucible, and down into the deep, crystal-clear currents of my healing river. You have stood patiently while I dismantled the heavy armor of your self-reliance and clothed you in the majestic garments of a spiritual warrior. And now, as we reach the culmination of this sacred time together, I want to open your spiritual eyes so that you can fully perceive the magnitude of what has just taken place within you. I want you to look closely at the miracle I promised you from the very beginning. Human beings often look for miracles in the form of sudden, explosive events. You look for the earth to shake, the skies to part, or the immediate, dramatic reversal of a physical circumstance. While I am entirely capable of performing those signs and wonders, and indeed, I will perform many of them in your life, the greatest, most profound miracle in the entire universe is the quiet, total, and permanent transformation of a human heart. Look at yourself right now. Look at the state of your soul in this exact moment compared to the weary, heavy-laden, anxious spirit you carried just a short time ago. The miracle has already happened. The miracle is you. Your mind, which was once a chaotic storm of worry, fear, and endless calculations about tomorrow, has been completely rewired by my peace. The crushing weight of guilt and shame that you dragged behind you for decades has been entirely eradicated, leaving you completely clean and breathtakingly light. The deep, agonizing wounds of rejection, the bitter sting of the adversary's slander, and the suffocating chains of emotional and financial debt have been broken, shattered, and swept away by the torrential flow of my grace. This total metamorphosis of your inner world is the supreme supernatural miracle. I have resurrected your hope. I have breathed divine, eternal life back into the dead, dry bones of your deferred dreams. I have fundamentally shifted your perspective from the low, dust-filled valleys of human striving to the high, majestic peaks of heavenly victory. You are not the same person who began listening to these words. That previous version of you, the one who felt weak, isolated, and entirely consumed by the shadows, has passed away. You have been beautifully and meticulously recreated in this moment. The profound transformation of your heart is the undeniable catalyst that will now trigger the transformation of every external circumstance in your life. Because your internal atmosphere has been completely purified and aligned with my kingdom, your external world has absolutely no choice but to conform to this new reality. The financial blessings, the divine connections, the physical healing, and the ultimate vindication that we have spoken about are no longer distant possibilities. They are the inevitable natural fruits that will now rapidly grow from the miraculous new soil of your restored heart. You are a walking, breathing, undeniable manifestation of my supernatural power. I want you to understand exactly why this miracle is permanent. In the natural world, emotional highs inevitably fade. The temporary relief you feel after a good conversation or a momentary success eventually evaporates when the next wave of pressure hits. But the transformation you have received today is not based on a temporary emotional elevation. It is firmly and eternally secured by an unshakable covenant. I want to speak to you deeply about the nature of this covenant, because understanding it is the absolute key to maintaining your freedom for the rest of your life. In the human realm, you are accustomed to contracts. Contracts are agreements based entirely on mutual performance. If one party fails to uphold their end of the bargain, the contract is broken, and the relationship is severed. Because you have lived in a world of fragile contracts, you have unconsciously projected that same transactional mindset onto me. You have lived with a quiet, lingering fear that if you make another mistake, if your faith falters for a moment, or if you fail to perform perfectly, my love will be withdrawn and the blessings will be canceled. But my relationship with you is not a contract. It is a blood-sealed eternal covenant. A covenant is not held together by the flawless performance of both parties. A covenant is held together entirely by the absolute faithfulness of the stronger party. And I am the stronger party. When I look at you, I do not see a conditional arrangement. I see the precious, immeasurable cost of the cross. I want you to cast your mind back to that holy hill. Think of the staggering, incomprehensible sacrifice of my son. He did not endure that profound suffering to establish a temporary arrangement that could be undone by your human frailty. When he shed his blood, he was signing his name to an eternal decree that permanently bound my heart to yours. That blood speaks a better word than all your past failures. It cries out for mercy, it guarantees your justification, and it serves as the unbreakable seal upon every single promise I have made to you. The cross is the ultimate, historical, undeniable proof that my love for you is not dependent on your perfection, but entirely on my grace. My love for you is unconditional, and I need that word to penetrate the deepest, most heavily guarded vaults of your soul. Unconditional means exactly what it says. There are absolutely no conditions, no prerequisites, and no hidden clauses that you must satisfy in order to be loved by me. I loved you before the foundations of the earth were laid. I loved you when you were wandering far from me, actively rebelling against my voice. I loved you in your darkest, most shameful moments, and I love you right now as you stand in the glorious light of my presence. My love does not wane when you are tired. It does not diminish when you are confused. It does not retreat when you are broken. It is a fierce, relentless, all-consuming fire that burns steadily through all eternity. The mountains may depart, and the hills may be completely removed. But my steadfast love shall never depart from you, and my covenant of peace shall never be removed. Because this covenant is eternal, and because my love is unconditional, there is absolutely nothing in the entire cosmos that can separate you from me. The adversary will certainly try to convince you otherwise. He will attempt to use your future mistakes, because you are still in a mortal body and you will still stumble, as evidence that the covenant is broken. When he does this, I want you to stand incredibly tall and remind him of the cross. I want you to declare with absolute, unyielding authority that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present circumstances nor the future challenges, nor any powers, neither height nor depth nor anything else in all of creation will ever be able to separate you from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus your Lord. You are locked in. You are eternally secure. You are hidden in Christ, and Christ is hidden in me. You are held in the palm of my hand, and my hand is closed tightly around you. No thief can pry my fingers apart to steal you away. You belong to me, now and forevermore. Having established the absolute permanence of this miraculous transformation and the unshakable nature of our eternal covenant, I now want to do what a loving father loves to do most for his cherished child. I want to pronounce a final, sweeping, majestic blessing over your life. I want you to position your heart to receive this. Do not rush past these words. Let them wash over you, let them settle into your spirit, and let them become the absolute truth that defines the rest of your days on this earth. I speak this blessing not merely as a wish, but as a divine, creative decree from the throne room of heaven. When I speak, reality is formed. When I bless, the universe aligns to bring that blessing into physical manifestation. I bless your physical body. From the crown of your head to the very soles of your feet, I decree divine health, supernatural vitality, and complete wholeness. I bless your mind with pristine clarity, sharp focus, and a profound, undisturbed peace that acts as a fortress against every form of anxiety and depression. I bless your eyes to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. And I bless your ears to hear the gentle, guiding whisper of my spirit with perfect distinction. I bless your heart to beat with a strong, steady rhythm of joy, entirely free from the heavy burdens of stress or sorrow. I command your youth to be renewed like the eagles, granting you the physical stamina and the resilient energy needed to run the race I have set before you without ever growing weary. You will lie down in peace, and your sleep will be sweet, deep, and completely restorative, free from the torment of night terrors or restless anxiety. I bless your home and your dwelling place. I decree that your house is a designated sanctuary of my presence. I bless the very atmosphere within your walls, commanding it to be saturated with love, harmony, and mutual respect. I banish every spirit of strife, division, and confusion from your property. I bless your coming in and your going out. I place a hedge of divine, angelic protection around your borders, ensuring that no plague, no tragedy, and no weapon of the enemy can cross your threshold. Your home will be a beacon of light in your community, a place where the weary find rest, where the broken find healing, and where my name is continually praised. I bless the food on your table and the water in your cup, removing all sickness from your midst. I bless the work of your hands and your financial resources. I break the back of every debt, every financial curse, and every generational cycle of poverty that has tried to attach itself to your lineage. I open the vast, unlimited windows of heaven over your life, pouring out a blessing of provision that is so immense, so continuous, and so overflowing that you will not have enough room to store it. I bless you to be the head and not the tail, to be above only and never beneath. I give you the supernatural power to create wealth, not for the hoarding of earthly treasures, but for the beautiful, generous expansion of my kingdom on earth. I bless your investments, your savings, and every endeavor you undertake with divine favor and exponential multiplication. You will lend to many, and you will borrow from none. You will never again know the crushing panic of insufficiency. For I am Jehovah Jireh, your absolute and eternal provider. I bless your relationships and your divine connections. I call forth the exact, ordained people who are meant to walk alongside you in this new season of victory. I bless you with friends who are fiercely loyal, mentors who are profoundly wise, and companions who will continually point you back to my promises. I bless you with the grace to forgive quickly, to love deeply, and to establish boundaries with perfect, godly wisdom. I sever every toxic tie and every unequal yoke that has drained your spiritual energy in the past. Above all, I speak a massive generational blessing over your family line. I bless your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren. I decree that your bloodline is marked by my favor. The prayers you have wept over them in secret are even now producing a harvest of salvation, deliverance, and profound purpose in their lives. The legacy you leave behind will not be one of struggle, but a magnificent testimony of a family completely devoted to the Lord. Finally, I bless your spirit. I bless you with a double portion of my anointing. I grant you a profound, insatiable hunger for my word and a deep, unquenchable thirst for my presence. I bless you with the spirit of wisdom and revelation, that the eyes of your understanding may be continually enlightened. I bless you with the courage of a lion and the gentleness of a dove. You will walk in a level of spiritual authority that terrifies the kingdom of darkness. When you speak my word, circumstances will shift. When you lay hands on the sick, they will recover. When you pray, the heavens will open. You are my chosen vessel, completely equipped, deeply loved, and perfectly positioned for the greatest, most fruitful season of your entire life. Receive this blessing. Let it take deep root in the soil of your restored soul. It is yours. It is irrevocably, eternally yours. Now, my beloved child, my seasoned warrior, my precious heir, the time has come for you to stand up. The long, dark night of your soul has officially ended. The heavy shadows that haunted your past have been permanently scattered by the blinding brilliance of my grace. The morning star has risen in your heart, and the dawn of a brand new, entirely unprecedented day is breaking across the horizon of your life. It is time to walk forward. I do not want you to merely limp into this new day, nor do I want you to step cautiously, anticipating another blow from the enemy. I want you to walk forward with the absolute majestic confidence of a victorious child of the Most High God. I want you to change your physical posture right now. Lift your head. The days of walking with your chin tucked to your chest in shame, defeat, or exhaustion are over. You are royalty. The blood of the King of Kings flows through your spiritual veins. You have a crown of righteousness placed firmly upon your head. Pull your shoulders back. Take a deep, unrestricted breath of the pure, exhilarating air of total freedom. Look straight ahead into the future, not with eyes of fear or apprehension, but with eyes blazing with faith, expectation, and a quiet, unshakable joy. You have survived the fire. You have navigated the flood. You have withstood the absolute worst the adversary could throw at you, and you are still standing. But you are not just standing. You are prevailing. You are conquering. You are stepping into the most glorious, purpose-filled chapter of your earthly journey. Do not look back. There is absolutely nothing left for you in the ruins of your past. The mistakes have been paid for. The debts have been canceled. The old, broken systems of your previous life have been completely dismantled. If you look back, you will only distract yourself from the magnificent banquet I have prepared in front of you. Keep your eyes locked entirely on me. I am the author and the finisher of your faith. I am the pioneer who has gone ahead of you to level the mountains, fill in the valleys, and make the crooked paths perfectly straight. The road ahead of you is paved with my promises, illuminated by my truth, and guarded by my angelic hosts. You have nothing to fear. The lions have been chained. The giants have been defeated. The walls of Jericho that stood between you and your promised land have already come crashing down. As you step out into this new day, I want you to carry the profound awareness of my presence with you every single second. When you walk into a room, I want you to know that the Creator of the universe is walking into that room with you. When you face a challenge, I want you to instantly remember that the God of the impossible is standing right by your side. You are never alone. You will never, for the rest of eternity, take a single step outside the boundaries of my fierce, protective love. The miracle has been accomplished. The covenant has been sealed. The blessing has been pronounced. The chains are gone, the tears have been wiped away, and the heavy yoke has been utterly destroyed by the anointing. You are a new creation, equipped with divine power, filled with overflowing joy, and destined for eternal glory. Breathe in my peace, exhale every last remnant of your fear, and step boldly into the magnificent destiny I have prepared for you. Your new life begins now. Walk in my light forever.